What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego. And I'm back. I told you we back. It's about to get real ugly. You got me in I'm in my zone, man. New media, I told you we not stopping. 23-hour lockdown. We coming. I just got home. It's raining and wet outside. So I wanted to get on the horn and talk to y'all real quick. Say my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Your boy been thinking. And we working. We gonna drive these points home. Smash the like button for sure. The world about to feel this. They're gonna be so sick of us. Point after point. Hit after hit. Vid after vid. They're gonna get the message. And we gonna make sure they read it. We sick of the bullshit. We working. You know, we see the games. Like, boxing's in such a good place. We gotta keep it there. Period. We gotta keep it there. We gotta keep it there. So I just got back. Yeah, it's raining out here. I don't know where you guys are from, where you're at right now, but yeah, it's raining out here. I don't feel like doing too much. I'm still a little bit like beat from the back-to-back trips to Dallas and New York. So I've been recovering. I had a great time though. Speaking of New York, I went out there, pulled up on Deontay Wilder. I told you, man, I'm supporting anything real. This year, I set goals. You know, I don't always tell people my goals, but, you know, this is nothing I'm hiding or whatever. I want to watch Teofimo live. I'll never cover his fight. Never cover the Regis Prograis fight. I want to do that. Those are two people that are on my like watch list that I want to watch fight live. I told you I'm supporting anything real in boxing because I'm real, and it could be no other way. We got all types of things going on in boxing. I want to give my thoughts, and you guys seen the title of the video. So, this is just my opinion, and I'm going to break it down. Deontay Wilder dodged a bullet. He made the right decision. I promise you he made the right decision not signing to Dazn right now. I know some of you guys might be scratching your head like, what? Ego is 100 mil? What? There's a lot of people in this world. He said, remember the hacker? Yeah, I seen that. That shit was crazy, bro. Yeah, that shit was crazy. They shit just try to shut my shit down. I didn't know what to do. But let's talk about it. So I got multiple reasons. I want to break it down, give my thoughts, just my thoughts, people. What's blazing in sports? Ego, salute to Ego's army. You know, I told y'all this year, we've been where we needed to be. We just having fun with the game now. You know, we just having fun. You know, we're gonna have some friendly debates. We're gonna destroy some man fans. It's just, this is our year. I told y'all that. The Vampire Stream King, you know what it is. Checking in from Hawaii. I can't wait to come to Hawaii. That's on my bucket list. I never been to Hawaii. I heard they got good food, good people, beautiful sunsets and sights. We out here, vampire. The Vampire Stream. Listen, Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, he made the right decision not signing to Dazn right now. I've already went over this, but I'm going to keep reiterating, you know, because this is where we got to drive these points home. What better way than to talk about it on the Vampire Stream? Al Heyman putting pressure on these promoters, most definitely. So, the more I think about it, the more I'm in agreement with my own brain. Like, you know, sometimes you have a thought process or, you know, wavelength that you're on, and then you think about it and you're like, nah, that's not the best way. I said something, I put it out there in the atmosphere. I told you, I was like, nah, Wilder, he did the right thing, you know, and I gave the reasons. The more I think about it, the more secure I am in that decision. You know, one of the reasons is, like I said before, Dazn is vastly unproven. The day after, literally, like, you know, God must have special plans for me, because literally the day, like, I keep getting these little random things right. I'll be on the front lines. People say I'm crazy. People say you hating. People say you biased and you work for this person. You work for this fighter. And then none of that shit means anything to the real fans, because they see we keep getting it right. So all that other shit is just extra noise. That's just white noise. That's just static, you know? But the day after I said this, isn't it ironic, Alanis Morissette voice, that Dazn hiked up their prices by 100%, $9.99 plus another $9.99 and $19.99. They doubled their prices, right, per month. That, if you look at, like, you know, this is all a war for the, not for me, but for the competitors. You know, Al Heyman is, everyone's jockeying for position, trying to align themselves and, you know, set things up, set the play up. So in the art of war, them doubling their price was a red flag of a couple of different things. And I don't have to even get too deep into it. You know, I don't have Dazn, I don't audit Dazn. I have no dealings in their numbers and stuff. But if you know simple business, things like that, when decisions come from the top like that are major, in the vice president or executive producer or whatever the dude's title is making statements like, I know I'm going to get some kickback. I know social media is going to be mad at me. That's how they know. They know that means it's a tough decision. You know, if you make a decision, you know, and you already know what you're going to get criticized for it, then you know it's a decision that had to be made, or you felt it had to be made, and you're making it. But if you can already anticipate a negative reaction, then you know that can't be good. Because why would, if you were doing something that, like, okay, let's say they signed Wilder Joshua, you wouldn't anticipate a negative reaction. You know, fans would be like, fuck yeah, $9.99 a month, and I get to watch Joshua Wilder. So we know, if you know just simple human nature, that he literally said, and I mean, I could really pull up the quote. It's on the Los Angeles Times if you guys don't believe me. The vice president, Markowski, or whatever his name is, literally said he knew he's going to get some backlash and feedback with this decision to up the price. That alone tells you everything you need to know, that they know this decision is going to piss off some of the customers, right? And it did. So in the case, I'm like Maury Povich on this boxing shit. In the case of Deontay Wilder, you know, this to me is an indication that him listening to his team, him listening to the advice of the people that are steering his career, they're leading him to the promised land. Because, see, I'm going to tell y'all what the game plan is this. A lot of people don't want to stick to the script. A lot of people get antsy. They get impatient. They don't want to stick to the script. Like, that's like, I watch a lot of gangster movies, you know, that's just like a genre, crime drama and shit. I just like that genre. And I watch movies like that. And it's always when somebody fucks up you know, they have a good thing going, the bad guys, you know, the cartel or whatever, or the, you know, Nino Brown or whatever. And when someone goes against the grain, goes AWOL and kind of does their own thing, it's always like bad decision making, that people that don't stick to the script, that ends up fucking it up. Then the feds start, like American Gangster, for example. Denzel Washington, great flick. Russell Crowe, I believe Ridley Scott directed it. Great fucking flick. Denzel was low key. He didn't like the spotlight. He had money, you know. He Frank Lucas. He had that blue. Yeah, I got that blue magic, huh? It's a name brand like Pepsi. I guarantee it, you know. It's Denzel. He was doing his thing behind the scenes. He didn't want to be too flamboyant. He didn't want to be too flashy. And then whoever it was in the movie bought him this expensive mink coat. And then he went to a boxing match or whatever it was. And then they're like, who is this? You know, semi-tall dude, this expensive ass $100,000 mink. And he didn't stick to the script. That's the same, you know, pictures were taken of the event because it was like I forgot, Frazier or whoever was fighting Foreman. And it was a big deal. Didn't stick to the script. Then the feds were like, who is this dude? Let's keep an eye on him. You know, there's a lot of drugs moving in the city of New York. And then it was a wrap. They started looking at, you know, I forgot the Getaway Boys. I forgot what the Frank Lucas's dudes were. They had a clique. What were they called? Jersey Boys or some shit. I forgot the gang that he was with. Hold on. I know I hate when like little stuff. James Gang Boys? Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But anyway, he had a little clique. And anyway, that's when the feds started taking notice to him. Same thing. You look at New Jack City. Everything was going well. Then they, you know, I think it was G Money that brought Chris Rock, Pookie to the Carter. I don't remember. I don't remember who brought Pookie to the Carter. But I do know that G Money, Alan Payne, started fucking with Ice-T and doing a side deal. And Ice-T was a cop. You get what I'm saying? It was a chinchilla coat. That's right. So he's working with a narc, and he didn't even know it. And then, you know, Ice-T is, you know, double agent, getting all this intel. And then that was the downfall of the Nino Brown Carter, you know, getting all the information that they need. He said Rick Glazer claims that Dazn only has 88,000 subscribers. I don't know. I don't know where the number. I don't know how many they got, but whatever it is ain't working. It ain't working, you know, because they wouldn't have doubled the price. Listen, you have to understand the implications of doubling the price. You have to understand that. Doubling the price, not like, okay, first of all, I run a business. I understand how business goes. The implications of doubling the price, that lets me know that you need to aggressively try to, like, okay, picture this. Like, I've been to the casino. I don't have a gambling addiction, but I don't like to lose. You know what I'm saying? So there's been times where I've lost money and I'm like, fuck that. And then I try to get the money back. I'll go to the ATM and then take out another $300 or whatever to play. And then I start playing, like, you know, dollar machines or aggressive, trying to recoup what I lost. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you already lost, you know, 200, you got to play certain level of games to probably increase your chances. You know, you don't want to play the penny machine necessarily. There's a chance you could hit and recoup if you lost $300 to $500, but you're probably better off going to a quarter or a dollar machine, you know. Block Lamb Saho. Please, they keep telling me to stop being biased, ego, but they can't stop watching me. Listen, you're blocked. Shooters are coming from you. I promise you that. But going forward to future trolls, just know this is a fortress. There's only one way in and one way out. All of Ego's army, all the people who like truth, you know, my shooters, obviously myself, we're always allowed in. But you trolls, there's only one way out, and that's the hot seat. So at this point, we run the show. This is our world now. So you're entering our world. And with that being said, we don't buy it anymore. That's cool. If you call me biased, that's what's up. But if you don't have an explanation to go along with it, then nobody believes you. Blocked. Just like Kennedy Linder just did you. Because that stuff doesn't fly anymore. Nobody cares about wild allegations. Like this dude that said Broner's, you know, creeping in his DM. He's not showing, I am delivered them receipts. That's all we care about. You're saying you have all these receipts on Broner, but you didn't release none. So I believe Broner. Why would I believe you when you clearly are, you know, seem like a weirdo you know, and all these videos. I like men's now, you know, and then you deliver it and all this shit, and then you doing these weird videos, and someone told me that this dude has a Adam or Andrew, whatever his name is, Caldwell. He has a history of like accusations or some shit. People don't care about that anymore. You know, it's cool. Some people might just bite onto it, but Eagles Army, we smart over here. We smart over here. Nobody, you talking about, I am delivered. Delivered them fucking receipts. If you have, like, why? Who wouldn't do that? And then the dude said, oh yeah, I don't want to embarrass Broner like that. But you already embarrassing him with the accusation. So why don't you just show the receipt? That's clout chasing. Exactly. Bro, if you had something, if somebody had said, oh, I have a tape of, you know, your favorite rapper getting knocked out, and then you like, let me take a peek, show me a screenshot, show me something. No, I got it though. No one believes that. You got it, but you can't show no one a sneak peek, a preview, you know, a 1 second clip, a snippet. Nobody believes you. So that's what it goes for the shooter. All that, oh, ego, he's biased, you're racist, but you're not saying that. If you're not saying what I did, then nobody believes you. Anyway, moving on. I am delivered. Like, bro, if you don't sit down and have several seats. Anywho, we know the implications. They literally, DAZN doubled the price. And I told you, we're not stopping. We're going to talk about this every fucking day if need be. You know, because y'all really in the comment sections trying to get wild, trying to get buck with new media. So it's cool. You know, like I said, hope you got juice in that battery pack. This is what I do full time. So we're going to see who has the most energy and who can outlast who. You know, whose points start to slowly break up as always, and whose points are more thorough and thought through and thought provoking and last. Shout out to Cali Fight Fan. What up? So anyway, we know the implication. This wasn't a subtle climb. This wasn't $9.99 to $12.99, $9.99 to $13.99, maybe even $14.99, maybe. But you know, that's probably like the threshold. But then it wasn't $15.99, $16. You doubled the price. You doubled the price. So the implications are, to me, I don't care what anybody says, that it's not doing as, it's not hitting the threshold that they expected at this point. And they see a trend, it's downtrending, where there's no longevity. People are popping in. And I'm not trying to insult anyone here. I am simply telling you what I feel at the time I feel it, right? I really struggle. And again, this is not to insult anyone. I don't know who made the decision or whatever. But I truly, in my heart of all hearts, I struggle to see how a team or a company founded by two billionaires who had already been in the business, like at least in different regions, Japan and Canada, decided that we're going to invest money. Our investors, our people, are going to invest money, and we're going to get into boxing. We're going to buy up Bellator and, you know, put Eddie Hearn at the helm, which I don't know if that was a good idea, but whatever. We're going to do these things. And they couldn't see the flawed blueprint of paying fighters crazy sports record-breaking financial deals on a month-to-month basis for $9.99, and at the same time saying pay-per-view is dead. So you're alienating that. Like, see, that's why me personally, I don't rule anything out. You know, I mean, within reason. You never once heard me, when I first started my channel, you never heard me say, man, I ain't covering no fucking boxing match. I don't care about no credentials. Fuck that. Because one day, what if I decided to grow my brand and take it to the next level, that I needed to be on the scene and get credentials and cover fights? Then I would look like a hypocrite because I came out telling everybody how getting credentials is for suckers, or, you know, weak fake reporters, and, you know, fuck with me. You know, I speak that real. I don't need to go to the fight. And then you start seeing me go to fight. That would be hypocritical. That's why I never did that, because I never rule out my options. I don't know what my next move is. So I always try my best to do a little bit of forward thinking, think of the big picture, and not alienate a walkway or, burn a bridge that I might have to cross at some point, And I for the life of me, I can't understand why Dazn didn't think that with a subpar calendar and a couple big stars that people would be flimsy and floozy and pop in when Canelo was fighting because he's a mega star, or even Joshua, he has, good fights and people want to see him, and then dip out if the calendar seems light. So Dazn made a couple mistakes. They made a couple mistakes to me. They came out with this fake ass price point that lasted for less than a year. Like, do you understand, unless you had a premature baby, the amount of time that Dazn has been out, as far as the Bellator and boxing, that was their U.S. baby. So as far as they've been out in the U.S. regarding boxing, they've been out less time than it takes a woman to bear a child. Again, unless you had a premature baby. Like, I was a preemie. I was born a couple weeks earlier than I was supposed to be born. But the regular, if she goes to the second and third trimester and stuff, would be 9 months. They ain't been out 9 whole months. The amount of time that it takes to bear a child, and they've already doubled the price. Not a good sign. I can understand the man fans being shook and having nothing to say because they've been running around telling people, oh, $9.99 is a good deal. Get your head out of your ass, ego, new media and stuff. And like me, I'm like, hey, wait, guys, Dazn still got to prove some stuff. Let's see what their I've said the same thing. I don't have no problem with Dazn, but I got to see their calendar. That's going to determine me as a consumer if I buy it, or if I get it for, a year in advance or a prolonged period of time. They didn't wait for any of this stuff. I had it, and then I told you guys I canceled it, and I would re-get it once. You get what I'm saying? Once the fights and the calendar picked up, or once I knew what fights to anticipate. I told you guys these things, right? So they ain't even been out for 9 months, and they already doubled the price. That's not a good sign at all. They ain't been out the time it takes to have a full pregnancy, and they've already doubled the price. Now the man fans scrambling around, and what they just tried to convince people of the $9.99, right? Oh, it's such a great deal. It's only $9.99. You see, look at these expensive ass Broner versus Pacquiao pay-per-views. This is only $9.99 a month. Now the same people coming out talking about, oh, it's only $19.99. Come on, guys. So what's next? Oh, it's only $24.99. It's only $29.99. What's next? We don't know. It's only been 9 months. It's not my fault. I'm not, the idea is cool. But people like myself, at least, new media, we were always questioning how this was going to work. One of the things I told you from the beginning, I told you Showtime is an established channel. They've been out longer than this Dazn shit. People know, my parents have Showtime. They know what Showtime is. They don't know what Dazn is. So you're the new kid on the block. Same thing with ESPN. ESPN is a linear network that everybody knows. Whether you watch it or not, you know what ESPN is. Dazn ain't a channel. It's not a channel. And then ESPN primarily is sports, but again, they're already established both in America and in the UK. Showtime is just a channel / network that covers some sports, but they also do movies and documentaries with Kobe Bryant and shit. I think they had one with LeBron James and comedy specials and original series. So it's different things. Some people get Showtime for those reasons. So basically, now the same people that said, oh, just $9.99 are now saying, oh, it's just $10 more on top of that. It's not a good look. You were better off coming out the gate with this $19.99 price point, because people were running with that. People were, oh, $9.99. They were saying at the press conference, oh, not only $10 a month, only $9.99, and now we're saying double that. And you wonder why people would be up in arms And people are going to try to flip it like new media hates Dazn, or, you know, we're just complaining, because it's a reality of the decision-making process from Dazn. I can't help if you signed all these fighters and were desperate to lure them in, so you gave them these righteous contracts that were very plentiful and lucrative, and now you're leaning on your customer, the customers you do have, whatever account that is, which has never been released, and you're relying on them to foot the bill. That's not fair. NFL Sunday ticket, $280 for 6 months. MLB Network, $180 per season. Jeffrey Gardner, you're in the hot seat. Do you work for DirecTV? Like, why the fuck are you telling me these price points to NFL? What are you talking about? Why are you telling me this? You in the hot seat. Watch me, body. I told you, this is why I'm gonna keep making videos. So just everybody thank Jeffrey. I'm not stopping now. Okay. Just know now it's on. New media. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see. Tell me why you're telling me this. Why are you telling me about NFL Network and all this shit? You're in the hot seat. You have 15 seconds. Please let me know why you're giving me price points to all this other shit. I'm not basketball ego. Like, why are you telling me? I'm not football ego. Why are you telling me this? What does the NFL have to do with this? Now you're getting burned. Believe that. Come on, Jeffrey Atkins. Watch me body this man. Jeffrey Gardner. Yeah, I'm the gardener now. You getting raked. Rake it up. Why are you telling me about the NFL? What is that? What does that got to do with boxing? What does that have to do with what I'm talking about? You have 8 seconds, my guy. He telling me the price boys. Well, OJ Simpson, I'm like, what the fuck? The white Bronco. What is a white Bronco got to do with it? We talking about boxing, the zone, the decision making, their decision to hike up the price. You telling me about some NFL shit? What does that got to do? Are you Pat Mahomes or something? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Are you Tom Brady? What are you bringing up NFL for? This is why. Just know when people are like, oh, why is he doing another video? This is why. People like Jeffrey, I'm bodying them all. I'm not playing no games. Now you gonna get this work. This is what you want. You said it was gonna be easy. You got 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Shooters, get ready. Get him out of here. Another one. Another one. Jeffrey Gardner. They're desperate. We got him. You know with the flat lines, the squiggly lines. We got them flatlining, bro. They don't know what to grasp for. They're gasping for their last breaths. You talking about the NFL? What does the NFL got to do with this? We talking about Dazn's initial statements, initial like sediments, initial price point and pricing model. You talking about the NFL is $200. What does the NFL got to do with it? NFL has 32 teams in it, you know. So for the diehard NFL, I don't know. My dad loves football, but he don't buy the NFL package. You know, he not watching all the fucking Cleveland Brown game. You know, people might watch it now with Odell, but you know, he don't need to watch all the games. He watch the games that come on. These dudes is I told you, these dudes is desperate. He talking about the NFL. Yeah, but Transformers 3 with Mark Wahlberg cost $60 million to make. IMAX. If you went to what are we talking about? We talking about Dazn. I told you, like Pac said, they only here to cause distractions. That's it. We talking about Dazn's pricing model, and he talking about NHL and MLB. I mean, nobody care about all that. We talking about the boxing. Back to it. I'm gonna get a sip real quick. Hold on. Let me get a little sip. in my opinion, Dazn would have been better off coming out with 1999. See, they did a bait and switch. They didn't want to shock people with the higher price point coming out the gates talking about some 1999. So they tried to ease their way into it. Didn't get the type of traction that they expected and the type of subscriber base. Seeing people was dipping out. And then, now they're trying to lock you in. Like, if I get locked up, don't let me out. Now they're trying to lock you down and force you to commit to a year, or you have to pay double, And then the man fans is trying to justify. Yeah, I know I said 1 month ago that $9.99 was a hell of a deal, but $19.99 is still a hell of a deal. You see how crazy this sounds? Like, how can you trust a salesman who, like, let's say someone was selling you a Dyson vacuum, right? And they're doing a demo and like, oh, this is the maximum suction. This is a great, it's made out of the strongest material. They're doing a little demo of them. And he was like, it's normally $4.99, but right now you can get it for $3.99. That's a full $100 off of the retail price. $3.99. And then you thinking about like, okay, would tell me a little bit more about this. And then another associate comes into that Dyson rep's ear and whispers, pss, pss, pss. And then he was like, okay, I've just been informed that sale is over. So the vacuum is actually double. It's a different price than I told you. But listen, $6.99, let me tell you. I know I said $3.99. But let me tell you about this $6.99. That's still a amazing deal. Like, what the fuck, bro? And I know $3.99. I'm just joking. I like, what I'm saying? I'm not doing the actual mathematics because that's not double. I know fucking math whiz come in here like $6.99 is not double, but you guys get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So you just had this Dyson sales rep who just told you everything about this is on sale. Boom. You get it, lock in at this price, $3.99. Boom. And then someone whispered in the ear and he talking about, I was just informed that sale's over. It ended. There was a rebate, but then, the shit's gone. It's $7.99, but it's still a great deal. That what? Man, I'm leaving, bro. You got me fucked up. You were just telling me how, $3.99 was an unbeatable deal, and now you're saying the same words for the price that just increased. Just like that. Price increase, and you have the same adjectives. You're saying the same word. Oh, it's still brilliant. How is it brilliant at $9.99, but it's brilliant at $19.99 too? Would you trust a salesperson that said that? Come on now. Actually, I got a tune-up. I took my car to get a tune-up one time. This wasn't that long ago. I got a Honda. And then the dude asked what type of oil, like 5D, 10D or whatever. And I didn't remember, So I said, I'm not sure. You probably just punch it in and, just so we get the right oil and look it up. And he was like, oh, I know this car. It's going to take 5D, or 5W, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, that's it. Right. So he quoted me the price for 5D oil. And I was like, all right, bet. And he's like, all right, cool. He's like, your car will be ready in 45 minutes or whatever it was, right? Then I get a call from the auto body place, right? And come to find out, the engine is like a VTEC engine, right? So it actually doesn't take the standard introductory oil. It takes the nicer synthetic oil, right? And he was like, yeah, I know I told you the oil change is going to be $59.99, but it's actually $89.99. And I was like, nah, but you told me it was $59.99. I asked you specifically. He was like, yeah, that's because I thought. And I said, but that's not my fault. You asked me what type of oil it took, and I said I wasn't sure. You should probably look it up to find out my model, I gave you, you know, the year, the make, the model, and you said you knew and you guessed that it was this, but you was wrong. So take that $30 extra and shove it in your ass, like all the way in your ass. I'm not paying that. And then he was trying to make excuses at first, and I was like, why would I have to pay the amount when I asked you what type of oil to put in, and you told me that's what it was? He's like, that's because I thought. I was like, that's not my fault. Guess what? Your boy Ego got it for the quoted price. You gave me an not an estimate, but you gave me the sheet, the total, and you said just bring this back in 45 minutes. Why would I pay for that when you made the mistake? That's your error. You know, same thing with this Dazn thing. You the one to sign people for whatever you signed them for. You the one that came out and said, people, this is $9.99, an incredible deal. You know, why the fans got to pay for that? Who the fuck is Jeffrey? Who do you guys keep talking about Jeffrey? Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Someone said Jeffrey wanted to finish. Who the fuck is Jeffrey? He said, I am Jeffrey Gardner. You challenged me to a hot seat, then you blocked me. These motherfuckers be coming back from the grave. All right, I was going to do it, but you said you are an ego bitch. Block him. You talking reckless, bro. Love light. I hope you love the light, because you about to see the light when them shooters come for you. You about to see that light, homie. Hey, we got you. Hey, show love the light that he been looking for. I'm not hot seating you. If anyone named Love Light, Jeffrey Gardner, any Jeffrey, bro, they getting blocked. I am Jeffrey, you blocked me. Hey, you a fucking stalker. That's what you are. Hey, shooter, clap that. That's slaving, bro. That's not a regular person. That's a that's slaving or some shit. Because who the fuck says I am Jeffrey Gardner? Like, this is not the fucking 1800s and shit. Like, I am Thor from Asgard. Like, who the fuck is, who just, bro, come on, bro. I know you ain't from the hood. Ain't no hood dude just come to a party, you know. I am Kendall Watkins from South Central. I swam the 7 seas. Like, get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody just announcing themselves like that. These motherfuckers is weird, bro. Somebody said Jeffrey Dahmer. Who the fuck just announces that? Like, we supposed to know who the fuck you are. Like, you Madonna or something. Like, we just know Drake and shit. We just know you on a first name basis. He said, I am Jeffrey Gardner. You know, hear ye, Jeffrey Gardner. Man, get this motherfucker. Yeah, you the gardener. When the grass is cut, the snakes are show. But I gotta thank the little homie Nas for that, though. Saving me the hassle of speaking to half these assholes. You know, who the fuck is Jeffrey? Hey, get these. Hey, they say I'm sexy now. Get these dudes out of here, bro. See? Somebody hit that boy with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Damn, you got me talking. Anyway, someone hit him with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was like, he said Jeff was like, I am Groot. Why is Ego's army this funny? That does sound like Groot and shit. This motherfucker. I am Groot? I am Groot. Hey, bro, get your Groot ass out here, bro. Oh my gosh. You gotta admit he had heart though. He was like, I am Jeffrey Adkins and I challenge you to a duel. Man, get your 17th century ass up out of here, bro. What? You would get your ass kicked in the hood talking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just walking up to some Crips and shit. I am Brian Hendrickson, and I challenge you all. Like, what? Talking in third person. Get the fuck up out of here. Anyway, that was kind of funny. I am Groot. That's why I love my job, man. I get paid to babysit and shit. Daddy daycare. Anyway, back on track. You know, they can't knock me off my pivot. Okay. Dazn doubled up their prices. So, I mean, they knew what was up. The CEO or whoever he was, vice president, he said he's expecting this. He's expecting feedback. So he expected this video. You know, he expected people to trip out when they heard it. I mean, you doubled. Like I said, this is not a subtle, you know, small marginal increase. You just, it said, fuck that. Dazn was just in the cutting room floor making the decisions. Like, damn, should we go from $9.99 to $11.99? No. We need more subs. What about $9.99 with the new price effective immediately? $12.99. No, that's not enough. Wait. That's it. We gonna charge all our customers $19.99 for the same shit. That's it. You know. And then the CEO, the vice president, was like Eminem. He was like, fuck that, do that shit, do that, you know, raise that bitch. Can you afford to blow this shit? Are you that rich? Why the fuck you give a fuck if they cancel? Are you that shit? Do you really give a fuck if you got... Hell nah, bro. Double? Like, we talking about Tia and Tamara Mowry, you know? Mowry or whatever the fuck their names is. We talking Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Double mint twins? Like, you just gonna double that? Dazn was like, fuck that, do that shit, shoot that bitch. Can you afford to blow this shit? Are you that rich? Who gives a fuck who pays Joshua? Are you that bitch? Man, you really think they give a fuck if you got... Man, don't do it, it's not worth it. I will. Tell them you need a place to stay. You'll be safe for days if you shave your legs with Renee's razor blades. Yeah, man. That's just that's a okay, listen. I'm not the smartest brother in the world. I ain't. But listen to this. If you were already struggling to get a certain like a certain level of traction, right? You're like struggling to get subscribers. Why do you think doubling the price would entice more people to do that? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. And yes, I understand you could do the $100, which we're going to talk about that yet again. I understand you can do the $100 option and then it breaks down to $8.33 a month. But guess what? The thing with the $100 options is this. Why? No one's answering this. The fuck would I commit to something for a year that I have not had for a year, that has not been out for a year, and has been lackluster thus far? Overall, scheduling fights when there's bigger fights. You know, the best thing smoking on Dazn, Canelo Jacobs, you know, AJ versus Gerald Big Baby Miller, and Sor Rungvisai versus Juan Francisco Gallo Estrada. Those are the best fights that I can think of that are announced. So as a consumer, it becomes hard. Yes, I understand the savings is there if you commit to the whole thing. But why would I commit to it and I don't know what's going to be on the calendar in the back half of the year? I don't know who Golovkin's going to fight, but the names that I heard, I wasn't too impressed with. You know, they talk about Gennady Golovkin. See, and that's the thing. DAZN is not, they haven't previously showed a track record of making the Canelo Jacobs types of fights. You know, that's an excellent fight. But it sounds from all the rumors that I've heard like they want Triple G to fight Willie Lump Lump. I don't really prefer that. So why would I commit for a year and I don't know what the calendar is going to be like. That's why the original concept was better than this, because it was $9.99, opt in and opt out as you want. But they see they couldn't get long-term lasting customers by doing that, which was a flawed business model from the beginning, you know, especially when you're trying to grow, you know, and your price point was only $9.99. But that's not my problem. This is what you released, and this is what you told the people, you know. And then now you're trying to lean on the fans. And then on top of that, even the loyal fans who've been with you since day one and been subscribed, they can only get the $9.99 for, they can only get it for a year. Like they don't just get it indefinitely. That seemed like more fair to me, you know. So you're not even taking care of the loyal customers, really. You know, you're just giving it to them for a year. So the whole concept is kind of all over the place, and we're starting to see that, you know. It's just like, and I called it, like with HBO when they start doing all these budget cuts, and like I was the first one talking about that on I was like, man, HBO is making some weird, you know, putting everything on pay-per-view budget cut. You usually see the red flags, at least I do, you know, of not good warning signs. Listen, just hear me out on this one very point. They haven't even given us one, listen to me, people. They have not given us one good Canelo fight before they have doubled the price. That's a problem. So your biggest star, same thing with Joshua. You know, I wasn't impressed with the Povetkin fight. You know, Povetkin just beat David Price. I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see the Wilder fight. You get me? So in my mind, you haven't given us one solid AJ fight. You haven't given us one Canelo, you know, solid fight that I wanted to see. And you're already raising the price. Clap what fool? Hey, shooters, handle this. I don't have time to babysit. Shooters, clap who needs to be clapped. Please. I don't have time for it right now. I don't even know what fool it is, but get rid of him. Somebody who's listening, because I don't have time to keep doing this. Who is he? Who's the person? Do we have any shooters here? Make sure y'all smash the like button. We've been lackadaisical with that. Smash the like button. I don't even see this Chris fool. Oh, I see him. I got him. It's cool. I got him. He's gone. Now, back to what I was saying. I got him. Don't worry about it. He's gone. Chris, I didn't know you like to get wet, though. So, anyway, they have not given us one Canelo fight that we've asked for that people are genuinely happy with. They haven't given us one AJ fight that people are excited for. And then we're on the cusp of those fights, you know, at least from my knowledge, you know, where people are like, yeah, you know, I don't mind the Miller fight, and I definitely want to see the Jacobs fight, and they've already raised the price. That's a problem to me. You know, like, damn, you couldn't give us one good Canelo fight under this pay scale model, or, you know, price point model that you came out bragging and raving about how the prices were so low. We haven't got one solid Canelo fight. We got one fight, and it was a mismatch, and we all knew that. And people just accepted it because he had just fought Golovkin. So we're like, fuck it. Failed a drug test, then rescheduled with Golovkin in September. He was just fighting. It's a new deal. Just left HBO. Fine, fuck it. But you haven't even given us one good, you know, you said, just listen to what I'm saying. You said pay-per-view is dead, right? And then you have your pay-per-view fighters, you know, AJ and Canelo, and before they have their first like major fight that you would be able to possibly put on pay-per-view, definitely for Canelo because he's a pay-per-view star, and you've already raised your price. So you've already folded, in my eyes, and followed suit with something that's more in line with the pay-per-view structure by doing that. I'm going to say that again because that might be tricky to some people. You gave us basically a mismatch, a bullshit Canelo fight that we all knew with Rocky Fielding. That wouldn't, if that was on HBO Boxing and it was on pay-per-view, it would do terrible. So the first Canelo fight on your platform that is actually good and pay-per-view worthy, something that HBO Boxing per se, if Canelo was still there, would be able to market as a pay-per-view, you've already hiked up the price before that. That's a problem. You did all this to say pay-per-view is dead, and before your A side, you know, can fight, you've already raised the price on us. So we haven't even got one pay-per-view worthy Canelo fight under the price point you came out as. So again, in my opinion, they should have just came out at $19.99. If that was the case, just so everything was transparent, and just start there. But they didn't want to because they didn't want to shock people, and they knew that would, you know, they didn't want to. It's like when you don't want to tell your parents you got an F on your report card or some shit, or you broke your mama vase because you know you're gonna get your ass whooped. You know, so they didn't want to do that. So they came in with this guise of $9.99 and had everybody repeating it, and then it lasted less than a year, and then they've already doubled the price to what they're charging people in Canada. We're not stupid. So now every one customer is basically counts like two. They've doubled their profit just off of that. And the other thing is this. It's not really justifiable in terms of, it's not like they doubled the price and said, hey, well, wait, Golovkin's going to fight Andrade. We got this fight coming. All the fights that are known about right now were known about before this price hike was announced. That's another thing that makes no sense. You know, you should have just said Canelo's fighting Jacob and then raised the price right then and there. So they've had like at least 2 attempts to raise the price that would have at least made more sense. Like, hey, we wanted to give you Canelo Jacobs. That's the fight y'all been wanting. But, you know, we didn't realize we ran over our budget, so we raising the price. You know, that would have been more understandable. But we've known about Canelo and Jacobs for months. They've already done the press tour, and you didn't say nothing about it. Everyone's like, oh, $9.99, dope. You know, I can't wait to get this fight for $9.99. And guess what? Nobody could get it for $9.99. Everybody was waiting to re-up and get their DAZN for $9.99. And they like, surprise, motherfucker. You can only get $99 if you've been fucking with us from the beginning. If you were just trying to get $9.99 in May, too bad. It's going to be $20 now. Like, come on, bro. That to me, that's seedy and that's shady, you know. They didn't say nothing about that. And see, that's what I'm saying. To me, it's not even about the $100. I got $100 easy. My hotel room, I was just in a hotel in Dallas, Texas for 5-6 days. I was in a hotel in New York for 2 days. None of the hotel nights were $100, under $100. It was fight weeks and shit. And then New York is just expensive. So you put that in your pipe and smoke it. I just paid way more than $100 on just hotel expense, not food or anything. I don't give a fuck about $100. Real talk. It's not about that. It's about the principle. I don't like that business practice. And then now, you know, you make the price point either unbearable if you, you know, buy month to month and opt in and opt out, or you commit to us now. I don't like that. Ain't nobody gonna force my hand, like, you know, and force me to commit to an annual. And see, this is the other thing. It wouldn't even be as bad if I knew what I was committing to for a year. Somebody tell me right now what fights are going to happen in DAZN in August, September, October, November, December, right? They haven't been around long enough, so they don't have a proven record of like just always making the best. So I can't even make an informed decision about if I want to buy it for a year. Does that make sense to you? Like I said, let's say I have Dropbox, and let's say it's that same price because I have the Dropbox business account. It's probably about the same price, 100 or something like that. But I'm buying and purchasing Dropbox cloud storage space. So I know right then and there what I'm getting. they have it's like a Excel spreadsheet page, and it says you get, 50, I don't know what the number is, but it'll say you get 50 terabytes of storage space. You have files are saved and backed up for, a year now. You have this and that. You have this. So I know everything I am getting with that right now. I know what it does. I know what I've used it before. And this is the thing. Before I got a Dropbox Pro, because I wasn't as heavy on the scene to the point where I needed the extra cloud space. So I just had a regular Pro or a regular Dropbox account. But then it got to the point where with doing the boxing and stuff, I was like, man, I need even more storage space. So I upped it. I got it as I want. I could cancel when I want. All that, I just happened. I don't like, I just decided to pay yearly. So my thing is this. For services like that, you know what you're getting. Like, even like, I don't know if they do like little add-ons or updates or whatever, but I'm using it to store my files, and I know what I'm getting from the moment I purchased the annual package. I'm getting X amount of cloud storage space. Something like Dazn, they haven't been out for a year in terms of boxing, and I don't know what fights they're talking about making. I don't know what they can manifest. I don't know if they can get the Wilder Joshua done. I don't know if Joshua goes to ESPN because he's a free agent and fights Fury. I don't know these things. So how can I make an informed decision with so little data? And the only thing I have to go off is Joshua versus Povetkin up until now, which hasn't been no killer content to me by and large. And I'm supposed to drop 100 to get the savings, and I don't even know what's gonna be. And here's the other thing: is boxing. Shit happens. A fight, one of the best fights that would have been on DAZN was Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders. He failed a drug test. You get what I'm saying? See, people keep like, I know what I'm doing. I'm destroying them. People keep saying, comparing this to pay-per-view. Pay-per-views are events. Like, so for example, I know if Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. is listed on, like, if I didn't go to the fight, of course, and it was listed on DirecTV to purchase for $75, then the fight's coming on. With DAZN, to get, obviously, any deal that's worth mentioning would to be buying annual. But I can't account for Billy Joe Saunders and his nasal spray and his chicken throwing ass failing a drug test, and then a fight that I wanted to see getting canceled. I can't foreshadow that. And then now Billy Joe Saunders is with Frank Warren, and he's going on ESPN. So I don't know. And he's fighting some motherfucker named She-Fat, which sounds like an insult. So now I don't know if Andrade will ever even fight a guy, Billy Joe Saunders, anytime for the foreseeable future. So again, I personally don't feel comfortable paying in advance with things like that and no proven track record. That's not fair. How is that fair? Because even that's what I'm saying. Like, even fights like, God forbid, but even fights like Canelo Jacobs or Gerald Miller, AJ, Sor Rungvisai, Juan Francisco El Gallo Estrada, stuff like that I like. Sometimes shit happens. Like Tank Davis was supposed to fight Abner Mares. I booked a flight because I was going to go there. I end up not going there. I didn't, because he was fighting Hugo Ruiz, and I had to get ready for the Spence fight. You get what I'm saying? So that's not how it works with pay-per-view. If they have the Adrian Broner versus Pacquiao listed on DirecTV and I purchased it, it's not like, oh, Broner's taking the shit, he's not coming out. You know what I'm saying? The pay-per-view is on. So we're talking about totally different things. With DAZN, I could prepay for it because I like the schedule, and then fighters get hurt. DAZN didn't even account for stuff like that. What if Canelo pulled out for some reason or got hurt, and I'm just sitting up here paid for a year? That's the main fight I want to see. This is boxing, people. This ain't above the I was looking forward to Deontay Wilder. Actually this is a true story. November, they said Wilder is fighting Luis King Kong Ortiz, right? True facts. I booked hotel. I booked a flight because I wanted to see that fight. I get an alert. Luis King Kong Ortiz failed his drug test. Oh my God. Then, long story short, the fight got canceled. I still end up going because I already had everything booked, and you guys seen the coverage, but they replaced it with Stavern. But the initial fight that I wanted to see, right, got canceled. So let's say that fight was on Dazn, and I signed up. I'm like, okay, they got Canelo Jacobs, they got and they got Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. And then fights get canceled, which happens in boxing, which nobody is talking about this, but leave it to your boy because I think ahead. How am I thinking ahead and there's billionaires at the helm of this company and they're not anticipating like this? You know, what's the precautions for that? And again, so Canelo, you don't know when somebody's going to pull out with injury. So here's an example. Maybe they have something in place where you can get a prorated amount. Maybe, right? That wouldn't surprise me. So like if you don't use the year and you paid for a year and then you cancel. But here's the thing. Anybody's liable to cancel a fight at any time. You know, there's been fights like what's the name? Billy Joe Saunders and Andrade. It got canceled like weeks before the fight. You know, Canelo, when he failed with the clenbuterol, it got canceled a few weeks before the fight. People already had purchased tickets and flights and stuff like that. You look at Luis Ortiz, his findings got canceled. Alexander Povetkin literally had a weigh-in with Bermane Stavern, and the fight got canceled after the weigh-in. They found out he failed a drug test. You get what I'm saying? So fights can get canceled at any point. So even if you have a prorated, that doesn't help me because let's say I commit to the annual thing right now, and then a week before the fight, you know, Jacobs pulls out or Canelo gets injured, God forbid, obviously, right? For any reason. So I'm only going to get a prorated amount, and then let's say I just cancel right then and there. So I've already paid into it for, you know, April, May. You know, this is just hypothetically saying that date, you know, or let's say Joshua, because that's a little bit further out. So I've already paid for April and May, and the fight I was looking for Joshua, and then it gets canceled a week before the fight. So I can only get a prorated amount from that point on. So the other months where I didn't really even need the zone, guess what? I'm ass out. You know, so that to me, that's why another reason I'm hesitant to commit to a year. I don't know what the content's going to be. Man, these dudes be saying whatever. He said, he got blocked already. He says they signed the biggest stars. Don't you think it's going to be worth it? Listen, the biggest, okay, so the movie Battleship had some of the biggest stars. You know, Rihanna was in it, Liam Neeson, who had just done Taken and all this shit. All that. So a movie is good because the biggest stars are in it? That don't make sense. A good movie is a good movie. It don't mean it's good because you have a lot of star power in that. I know you guys have seen movies that had an all-star cast that was weak. And you could have watched an independent film that had nobody you know, and it was a good-ass movie, right? So that's not how that works. It's not just about having the big star. Yeah, they got great stars. Cool. But if Anthony Joshua can't fight Wilder for politic reasons, if he can't fight Fury for politic reasons, if he elects not to fight Luis King Kong Ortiz, then all that star power is out the window. You know, so it's not just about having the stars because most of these guys aren't big enough stars except for maybe Canelo. And that even gets old. But most of these guys aren't big enough stars to the point where they could do it all without a dance partner, where they just, no matter who they fight, is going to do. Canelo probably has the best track record in active boxing of being able to fight just anybody and doing moderately well to good or, you know, great. But not these other dudes. No other dude has that type of drawing power where, you know, no matter who they fight, they could fight Finding Nemo and it's going to do 300,000. So star power don't mean anything. For example, case in point, Gennady Golovkin, the people that they're talking about him fighting, Kiram, Sriracha Sauce and Brandon Adams and you know, the Road Runner and all that. I don't. It's not a big fight to me. So all that star power that you say Golovkin has, he still needs a dance partner. And again, if DAZN is not going to make their stars like Gennady Golovkin take risks and fight other guys that they have, like Demetrius Andrade, then it's going to be hard sells. You know, they're trying to milk this, you know, Canelo Triple G 3 fight and force that. Canelo's in a difficult fight. You might as well pull the trigger and make Andrade versus Triple G. Put Triple G in there with a tough fight. It's okay. Because now the winner of Andrade and Triple G and the winner of Canelo and Jacobs deserve each other for undisputed. That would then become an undisputed. If Triple G comes back and fights Brandon Adams and knocks him out, what does that really do for a Canelo trilogy? You know, it doesn't really hype people up. What Canelo's doing would hype people up because he's fighting top class, top shelf competition. Triple G, the rumor names aren't. They're no one that I care about. Unless he pulls a rabbit out the hat and fights someone better. All right, hold on. Juan Rico, give me $100 super chat. He says $100 isn't that much. All right, I'll purchase DAZN for a year. 100 ain't that much. Send me $100 super chat and I'll purchase it right now. You said 100 ain't much. Okay, so pay for my DAZN for a year. I'll take over after that. All you have to do is do a super chat and then I'll pay for my money. So it's not like your credit card's on file. No, I don't need to do a hot seat. Send me $100 super. You said it ain't that much, so you got it like that. Send me $100 super chat and then I'll pay with it on the camera with my own credit card. You know. And we ain't giving you a refund for your super chat either. So don't be trying to call the bank talking about, oh yeah, man, my kid's got a hold of my card. Nah, bro, we keeping that. You're a effing joke. Block him. Johnny Garcia. Give me Johnny Garcia. Look at the names, faces, and profile people, the people doing the most hating. Give me $100. Why am I why are they mad at me? You said $100 ain't shit, or your boy or whoever said it, that $100 ain't shit, and then I asked for $100 to pay for it, and then you say I'm a joke. How am I a joke? You said you guys are talking about $100 ain't nothing. What? Where's Juan Rico? You send when you sending that? Send that $100. Send that scratch. I need my scratch. Why do you guys get out of timeout talking about how you were in time? You're back. Just enjoy the show. I don't understand why I was put in timeout. Bro, you're back. Why even go there? Yeah, death to the infidels. What, you see how quiet he got? He said $100 ain't much, and we ain't heard from him since. Ever since I said send that $100 super chat. If it's not that much, just send it. You're on my channel. Support the channel. Send me that $100, and I'll buy DAZN right now. So it's not like I'm gonna spend it on like booze and strippers. I'll buy the DAZN in front of you guys right now. You said it's not that much. You said it's gonna be easy. So how can't you give it? You know. Take one for the team. Hey, Juan Rico, you got 10 seconds to respond. You gonna send or not? Or no? I told you we not playing no games. He said, "Oh, $100 isn't much." He said, "I'm pocket watching, bro." Romanian Mike Shooters, if he says one more crazy comment, X him. Take him off the map. Where you at? Why you hiding? Oh, you were asking him. Doesn't mean I'm going to pay it for someone else, bruh. Get him out of here. You broke. Get another one bites dust. He said, doesn't mean I'm... You said, bro, you said you got it like that. And then you're like, you don't want to. Okay, hold on. Can you send it to charity? I'll give it to charity. How about that? It doesn't have to go to me. Send $100 Like, and I promise you, I'll send it to a charity of your choice. It don't have to go to my Dazn account. That's fine. Yeah. Let's see if you said we'll send it to charity, bro. You know he wasn't. He was going to dip out. Doesn't mean I want to support charities. Like these dudes, bro. You ain't even trying to. Why they trying to take it there, bro? He's like, that doesn't mean I want. Doesn't mean I want to pay for it. He sound like Dominic Brazil. Doesn't mean I want to pay for somebody else. All right, we'll send $100 to charity. It don't matter. I don't need the money. We can send it to charity, and he still wouldn't do it. Oh my gosh. Now that was funny. Block Johnny punting. We about to punt you out of here. Block Johnny. Johnny. Do 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 do. Johnny. Do 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 do. Your ass is grass. Johnny punting. We punting you. Johnny. Do 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 do. Johnny. Do 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 do. Johnny. Do do. Telling. Let telling let eating shit eating sugar. Yeah, Johnny. We coming. We coming for all y'all. I love this shit. We coming. Any motherfucker, $100 is not that much. All right. But you see, he didn't want to cash out. He ain't no Johnny Utah. Johnny Utah was badass. I'm gonna eat these gummies though. He said $100 ain't shit. Let's pay a charity. We'll do $100 a piece to a charity of your choice. I'm with it. Ego love the kids. Let's do it. I told you. I know how they're going to act. I know what they're going to say. And I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for everything. Shout out to Strada. Very good point. Does DAZN still freeze? Anybody knows. That's the other thing. When I had DAZN, had buffering issues. That's another reason why I don't want to pay in advance until they figure out some of those bugs. I actually the one Petty. He said they don't have no money. It's always the ones that don't have money that be talking about, oh, $100 is nothing. Yeah, I should screenshot your comment and send it to your cell phone provider. Cause they're gonna be like, wait a minute. Like you said $100 isn't nothing in Ego's live stream, but your bill is past due. And you did a promise to pay. Man, bro, I wish I knew this dude's phone number. I would call his phone company. I'm snitching. Fuck that. I'm going to send it to your phone company. I'm like, damn, look, he's saying 100 ain't nothing. But you on a promise to pay. These dudes is lying, man. Come on. These dudes be lying. Why lie? I don't get it. Talking about 100 ain't shit, but your bill past due. Okay. That motherfucker complaining about paying 11 cents for ranch at Wendy's. What? What do you mean 11? I ordered 10 nuggets. What do you mean I gotta pay 11 cents? Come on, man. You can't give me a ranch for free. You mad, babe? You mad that you had to pay 11 cents for a nugget? You talking about 100 ain't shit. Okay. We believe you. Ego is crazy. Man, I ain't crazy. I'm perfectly sane. See, I'm always the bad guy. I'm always the crazy. I'm the asshole. I'm mean. But these motherfuckers come in, calling me names, saying all types of crazy shit, and y'all never call them crazy. This motherfucker talking about, I am Joey of Arcadia. I challenge you. Like, they talking to me crazy. talking like they fucking trying to joust me, like, you know, A Knight's Tale and shit, Robin Hood or some shit. But then I'm the crazy one. What? Y'all know what I'm saying is true. Anyway, this price point, I think it does more damage than good. You know? I know people that were covered under the $9.99 for the next year at least, and they canceled it after that announcement. I'm not lying. I'm like, damn, you were on the $9.99. He's like, I canceled it. That's crazy. So, la, do. $3 super chat. The Vampire Stream. Yeah, we having fun though. But back to Wilder. He made the right decision. Here's why. This price hike is not a good indication to me. You know? And like, just look at it. Like, it's not so much for me. I don't care because I'll cover anybody's event. But these companies for sure are battling. So they're jockeying for position. Dazn showed the first sign of weakness, the first chink in their armor compared to ESPN and PBC. Because PBC didn't do this. You know, ESPN didn't do it. ESPN just keep bubbling up. You know, they just did a deal with UFC and announced distribution for UFC pay-per-views. This is big news because UFC has its own fans, a lot of fans, right? Fox just did a successful pay-per-view, and they have a guy who looks like he's going to be very hard nut to crack, pause, and hard to beat in Errol Spence. So Fox is doing well. A lot of people are giving Fox accolades and props for how they promoted the fight, me included. They're also doing these little Fox programming. So they haven't showed no sign of slowing up or slowing down. This, to me, the Dazn doubling up the prices, you know, a sign of there's some kind of lack thereof of subscriber counts or whatever. Yeah, we got the troll. My shooters are quick. They already got him. We're not worried about it. ESPN crashes hard. I ain't had no problems. ESPN, I really haven't had no problems. And I watched Manny Pacquiao, Lucas Matisse from Malaysia at a weird time, and they didn't have no problems. But I got good internet and everything. So, but Dazn has buffered and shit like that. But you know, we'll see what this means. But the thing is, I think Wilder made the right choice because here's the thing. Wilder, the Dazn thing is not off the table. You know, if Canelo, Jacobs, and AJ versus Miller breathes new life in Dazn and they leverage or, you know, come up big from those two fights, right? Then they, you know, their money should be good and they can offer Wilder something else because they still are going to need, if AJ wins, he still needs a contemporary, he still needs an opponent. So they're really going to have to do so. See, this is what I told you guys from the beginning. Dazn should have just fucked with Al Heyman because his stable is so big. Because, you know, Dazn is still trying to acquire people. They don't have the talent pool to outlast Al Heyman at all. Perfect internet and Dazn freezes for everything. Yeah, go look at go to the iOS app store and read. People are like, terrible service, 1 star. Just go look at some of the comments. You know, some of them were good, but honestly, I believe Dazn paid for comments. We already talked about this. You know, because a lot of the comments you noticed when it first came out, and all the positive ones, and it sounded like robots and shit, or like a company, and they have stuff like that to try to keep the rating high. But then all of those like hefty comments that were all like positive and stuff was right when DAZN released in September and shit, you know, and last year, but they're not current comments, you know, because there's probably a promotional time where they spent money to get, you know, PR people to leave comments or whatever, or you know, I don't know what you even call the groups of people, but I know from knowing this business, you can have people rate your product or, you know, your iTunes and different stuff like that. Even on YouTube, you can buy likes and bullshit like that and fake comments. It's no different. But anyway, aside from that, like, the reality is they doubled the price and they didn't double the content. You know, the fights that they doubled the price and the fights that were already announced are the same fights that we waiting for. You know, so to me, that's a sign of trouble, just based on the fact of they didn't even allow to see if Canelo having a big fight with Jacobs pulled him out of the hole. They know people are waiting for Canelo and try to dip out, so they're like and they're trying to deter people from doing that. But ultimately, that, you know, that could drive people to just streaming it all together, raising the price point by double. I don't know how much that helps you. You get what I'm saying? Now people might be like, man, fuck that. I'm not paying $20. You know, you damn near better off lowering the price point to match ESPN, you know, and hoping you get more people that way. You know, but doubling the price, I don't know if that really is the strength. Yeah, you can encourage the diehard people to maybe commit for a year, but it's also a huge gamble. Your boy Ego talked about all this stuff, and you know, it's hilarious to me because I talked about it. I was like, there's no company in America or anywhere that could just have expenditures and just be in the red and just be paying motherfuckers crazy amounts of numbers without getting a return on their investment. They have not put on any big major events that rival even a Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. Name a fight that you think generated a higher live gate thus far that they've already done that was bigger than Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. And that wasn't even, you know, that was a big fight with the location and everything, but it's not the biggest fight. You know, Errol Spence versus Pacquiao could be bigger, would be bigger. So name a DAZN fight that you think is more successful that has already happened than Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia. He said Jeffrey came back as a woman. These dudes be tripping. And like, there's so many misconceptions about this. Let's talk about some of this stuff. People keep saying, oh, but this is what you pay for one pay-per-view and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, pay-per-views oftentimes are events, and they're not going anywhere anytime in the foreseeable future. Now you see people switching up. First they were saying $9.99 is so good and it's a low price point. Now they're trying to tell me $19.99 just because the company decided to make the change and double the price. People are saying $19.99 is still an amazing value and you could buy yearly now. I don't want to buy yearly now unless I know what the year is consisting of. This, like I said, I got a Dropbox that I pay for annually. It's a business. I'm covering fights. I go to fights. I travel. I need the cloud storage, right? So I know what I'm getting from day one. The moment it's debited from my credit card, I know how much space, I know the features of Dropbox, etc. Boxing doesn't work like that. I don't know what fights they're going to put later in the year. I don't know what deals can be made. I've only have a track record of less than a year's worth of fights that they've already put on, and a lot of them have been on conflicting fight weeks, so I haven't been able to watch them because I've been covering the bigger fight, i.e. the Broner-Pacquiao fight week, and they had Demetrius Andrade versus Artur Akov, Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, and then the day before that fight, they had Tevin Farmer fighting Jono. You know, I'm trying to cover the biggest fights for the fans, whoever has the biggest fights. You get me? So how can I pay for a year because it's a savings and I only know about Canelo Jacobs is, you know, the real fight that I want to see? you know, and I'm just supposed to commit and this everything. That's no different than pay-per-view then. If I'm paying $100 just because I want to see Canelo and Jacobs, how is that any different? That's like paying for $100 pay-per-view, because that's the only fight that I know that I cannot miss. Somehow, some way, I will watch that fight. But if you can't tell me right here and now what I'm paying for, and you don't have a proven track record of making the biggest events and having this crazy deep stable like Showtime. Showtime has given us consistent fights for years now. That's why I didn't understand why Eddie Hearn was saying all the stuff he was saying. They gave us, you know, Showtime and CBS and all that. They gave us Keith Thurman versus Porter, you know, Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia, Wilder versus Stavern, Wilder versus all of his defenses, Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. They gave us a pay-per-view with Wilder Fury. You know, they gave us Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares 1 and 2. Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton 1 and 2, right? There's a proven track record of what type of content they've been putting on for the last, you know, decade or better. You know, I don't know how long it's been. You know, we know what they've been putting. Dazn, like I said, the new kids on the block, they don't have that. AJ versus Povetkin, I literally didn't care about that fight. I didn't really want to watch it. I watched it because it was a free trial. Had it not been a free trial, I would have watched it, you know, in my spare time. You know, because I didn't really even want to support it, to be honest, because of what happened with how they did Wilder. I'm telling you, it's about principle. You know, in Dazn, another thing, they put Eddie Hearn in charge, and he ran around saying all this stuff and rubbed some people the wrong way, you know. So that part of it is that too. You know, some people are just like, nah, man, you said $9.99 and Showtime's going out of business. Where that part at, you know? It's a reality. This is who you know, this is a representation of the company that you're putting out there. Shit like that. So, you know, it is what it is. So he sound like Eddie jumped the gun a bit. You know, and even like if you look at the price point with ESPN Plus, they didn't have all of the like craziest fights with Top Rank, but I know I like Crawford, you know, and at a price point of $4.99 is justifiable. And then they do have a lot of other sports, like regular sports, and then on top of that, they have shows like Max Kellerman's been in the business, and he's doing shows with like Teofimo Lopez, you know, and they're having guests like that. You know, you can watch like First Takes and shit. And Max Kellerman, they got a show called Max on Boxing. So shit like that, I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then now the UFC went over there and they're putting cards. So now I'm like, now, okay, this is becoming more and more justified. It was already justified at the $4.99 price point because it was cheaper, you know, but now it's becoming more and more justified because now, you know, I can make videos from watching Max Kellerman interview Teofimo Lopez calling out Vasyl Lomachenko. They're getting exclusive access at that point, you know, having whatever guest in studio with Max Kellerman's show. And then on top of that, I'm getting all these Top Rank cards. I really like Teofimo Lopez. I really like Shakur Stevenson. You know, I got a lot of people over at Top Rank, you know, that I know, like Brian Jennings and stuff. So, you know, and then on top of that, they got UFC. DAZN's a bit different. You know, they got some star power, but then it's a lot of filler. You know, like me being a lyricist, like writing, a lot of rappers have a lot of filler. Like a lot of what they're saying is bullshit. And they don't really, you know, you could listen to their song, they might have one or two hot lines or clever. I try to have more substance when I was rapping. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was dope. That was dope. You know, so it's like person's constantly like has something to hang on to. A lot of people be like saying stupid shit. Better pull up with a stick. Pull up on your bit. You know, and that's all filler shit. That's nothing really intricate or clever or substance, lyricism, metaphorical, nothing like that. So DAZN to me has a lot of filler. They have less steak and potatoes and a lot of filler. You know, when I go out to eat dinner, I want the main course at some point. You know, I don't want to just eat a bunch of like hors d'oeuvres and shit. Me personally. I don't want to eat like, you know, just spinach dip and crackers and, you know, buttered bread. I want to eat the fucking crab, the steak, the rest of the fucking meal. You know, I don't want just a side salad and crumpets and all this bullshit. I want the actual, the pasta, the stuff that's going to fill you up that you want to see. And that's how my appetite for boxing is. You know, every company, every promoter, PBC, Top Rank, Dazn, they all have filler content. We know that. You know, like, you know, Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets. That's not the end of the world fight. It's solid. It's solid, but it's not like, oh, wow, you know, but it's cool. But again, that's different because it's on Fox. You know, it's on Fox. You don't have to do nothing for that. That's on Block Eduardo Gooding. This dude is a stalker, bro. Nobody believes you. Eduardo Gooding. That's cute. Shooters clap him. Hey, Kane, the bad guy, is really the bad guy. He's petty. That's my guy, though. He said, if I'm eating a meal, I don't want my bill to double. He said, niggas just be rhyming words. Gotta chop a Glock, then I pop a lock, not a lot of slopper. Hey, that really sound like some bars, though. Not dope, but that sound like the shit they... He said, gotta chop a Glock, then I pop a lock, not a lot of sloppy top. When I with your bitch, I'm a car. When a that actually sounds like some. That's hella funny. But yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see what this double up. Like, I ain't really hurt. I don't know. I just hadn't heard nothing really positive. People are trying to make it like, oh yeah, man, all you have to do is pay. Bro, I don't know if I joke with y'all too much and y'all really think I'm stupid, but you're not finna play me. Like, I tell you, I keep using the same analogy. It reminds me of the Chris Tucker when he went to the ice cream van and Big Worm was in there. And he's like, you got my money? He's like, yeah, you know I got, man, Worm. Niggas is broke. You know I got your money. And then he said, man, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And then he flipped it over and he's like 120, 140. And Worm was like, that's $100. If you don't have my money by tonight, midnight, I'm killing you and him. You trying to play me. I don't like that. You know, I don't like that one bit when they try to play me. Like, it's disrespectful. I don't like disrespect. And people say, oh, yeah, you're actually, duh, ego. You're actually getting it cheaper with the annual price. But you're also, it's like almost being locked into a contract. I got to commit for a whole year. This is not even like a 6-month block. This is, I got to play it for the whole year and shit, right? And if you break down the math at $99.99, that equates to about $8.33 per month. I would much rather pay an extra $1.66, which would be the regular rate that they introduced when they came out, $9.99. I would rather have $1.66 and give it to DAZN every month to have my freedom to opt in and out as I need it. Period. Stop playing with me, Smokey. These dudes is talking about, listen how new media is doing them. We jamming them up, I promise you. Listen to what these dudes are saying. They are raving about $1.66 savings per month, saying it's a much better deal because you're saving $1.66. That's the breakdown. $99.99 divided by 12. You are paying $8.33 a month versus $9.99. Boy, that's $100. Boy, that's $1.66. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm smart at math. I could divide. That's $1.66. So you take my freedom. You take my freedom to opt in and out and cancel and come back for the fights that I want, or and instead of improving your calendar to make me want to commit for continual months. That's the big point. That's why I'm, that's why it doesn't make sense for me. Right? Instead of improving your calendar and pushing for the fights that are going to lure people and be like, man, this shit is popping every month. I can't cut this shit off. You just want to just hike the price up. Nah, that's not how that works. So yeah, that, the annual thing, paying up front, that's cool. $1.66. The other thing is, like I said, people keep comparing this to pay-per-view. I know they want to be new media so bad. I know this, but I'm going to get you high today. Because it's Friday, you ain't got no job, you ain't got shit to do. No, I know they want to be new media, but here's the difference. Do y'all want me to do them like this? If y'all want me to do them like this, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? I got to make sure y'all still with me. I got so many points. We just touching the tip of the iceberg, Titanic shit. But we ain't going to sink. We just going to make you think. Believe in that, Death Row East. If y'all want me to break it down. Shout out to Romanian Mike, $10 super chat. Shout out to Ego for the stream of the Friday night. Been a fan for a minute here. It's 15 days of Dazn. Y'all petty. Keep doing your thing. No hard feelings. Also, do you need help with your website? I'm a web designer. Email me. That's dope. That's dope. Email me. He said, my friend, if y'all want me to keep breaking this down, shout out to Mike. This the real easy work. This is what some of y'all are, some snakes. Y'all some fucking snakes, B. Look. Y'all some fucking snakes. All right, listen. Hey, shout out to Horrible. These motherfuckers know how to make some gummies. Oh, god damn. This shit hit you right there, All right. All right. Let me break it down real quick. All right. They want to be new media so bad. These people keep coming up with the same logic. I'm going to show you new media logic versus old media and their logic. They're not comparing apples and apples, but they want you to believe that. They want you to believe that they're comparing apples and apples. They keep saying, oh, hey, you guys just paid Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. That was $75 versus $99, right? You watch Broner Pacquiao. That's another $75 instead of $99, right? This is what they're saying. Let me break it down since the fans wanted it. Haribo is shitting on Trolley. I eat Trolley too, but Haribo is where it's at. If you want to worry about your gummies getting stuck in your teeth, all in the video, come to Haribo. Black Forest gummies go dumb too, but sometimes the packs be hella hard and shit. But listen, I gotta stay focused. Y'all want to talk about gummies? That's how you know we killing. We just talking about gummies. So what are gummies? If you don't shut a little Australian butt up. She said, what are gummies? What do y'all call them in Australia? Like crikeys or some shit? Could I have a crikey? Now that's a crikey. What do you call them? Awesome blossoms? What do y'all call them in Australia? In Australia, huh? What do y'all call them down under? What do you call them gummies? LJ's hella funny. What do you guys call them? Crikey. Hey, mate, what do you call them? Beer. Foster's. Australian for beer. Jelly baby? Hey, that sounds like some welfare shit, bro. I'm done. Jelly babies? Bro, you can't be no grown ass man going to the movie theaters. Yeah, can I get a large movie theater butter? And I'm gonna take a pack of them jelly babies. Nah, bro, you can't. You can't have no. You can't do that. That don't sound right in America. That don't sound right. So, yeah, can I get a large Coke and can I get some jelly babies? Like, nah, bro. That don't sound right to me. I am not calling no shit jelly baby. That sounds like some Planned Parenthood shit, bro. The fuck is a jelly baby? Australia is popping. I gotta go. Y'all make everything fun. I'll send you some. All right, send me some jelly babies. I'm gonna be on Snapchat. These jelly babies good. I am delivered. That just sounds like something that motherfucker would say. Eat jelly baby. I am delivered. I don't like men's no more. That shit sounds sus. Make you slide in Broner DMs and shit. I am delivered. I'm going to hell for these jokes. Hold on. Oh shit. Oh shit. I miss like a motherfucker. Anyway. Hey, real brother showed up. Listen, I gotta say this point though. Hold on. Can we smash the like button? I've been forgetting. We gotta the vampire stream. We gotta get the likes up. Oh, I almost choked it up. He said, "Finna get some candy right now." Yeah, these be hella good. Block Eduardo Gooding again. This dude is a stalker. Eduardo Gooding, block him. I don't even see why at that point why you'd even come back. Someone said ego's unfocused. I know. It's a vampire strain. I'm eating these gummies giving me gummy power and shit. I got all this energy and shit. I can't. I'm so. Remember Jessie Spano when she took them pills? She was on Molly and shit. She said, "I'm so excited and I just can't. I'm so scared." Remember on that episode of Saved by the Bell when she was pop it on that Molly, pop it pill in that Molly. Hey, sitcoms used to be lit. Remember when Fresh Prince, when Carlton was off that, he took speed or some shit? That motherfucker was doing the Carlton hella fast. He took the pills out of Will's locker. That shit was so funny. Carlton was really, he was dancing, and he was dancing hella fast. Like, that motherfucker was, he took... That shit was so funny. I gotta watch that episode again. Hey, K, stop calling me out. Why you doing your boy like that? He's like ego on the sugar high. Oh. Anyway, let's talk about it. Fuck, I really did lose my train of thought. Fuck around with this. I know it's about. Hold on. Oh, okay, I got it. Here's the thing. People keep comparing DAZN and. Like, oh, you pay for Broner Pacquiao and Spence Garcia $75. Here's the difference. They're like, or you could pay $100 for DAZN. Here's the difference, my friend. They're not comparing equivalent things. Here's why. The fights they're saying, Spence Garcia, Broner versus Pacquiao, right? They're saying, oh, you pay $75 for that. You pay for $75 for that. But the thing is this, from December to now, what fight has DAZN put on that they could charge a pay-per-view? Let's say they weren't anti the idea of pay-per-view. Name 3 DAZN fights that they could have put on pay-per-view that would have had any level of success? That's the question. Let me know. So you guys keep talking about, oh, 70. See, I told you, new media, we think to a different, the mental Rolodex or mental dexterity is ridiculous. They can't keep up. They can't keep up with what we doing. They keep talking about, oh, that was 75 and that was, okay, yeah, that's right. Spence Garcia was 75, Broner Pacquiao was 75. Name any DAZN fight that they've had from December to now that they could have even charged $75 for and put on pay-per-view if they did that. If hypothetically, let's say DAZN wasn't against pay-per-view. David Thomas, he says, shit, name 2. Okay, name 2. We'll cut it to 2. Name 2 fights that have already happened on DAZN that you think in America they could charge, because we're talking about American pay-per-view, Spence and Garcia, Broner Pacquiao. So name 2 fights where they could, and they would have got 300,000 or 300 to 450,000 views. Name the fight. Katie Taylor versus some chick. What fight would they have even put on? People are talking about stuff that they can't have. That that's like the oldest trick in the book. That's like the oldest trick in the book. I'm really asking. This is not to roast or anything. That's a real life question. That's actual fact. Name a DAZN fight that they could have even considered putting on pay-per-view for $75. I'm waiting. Why? See, why won't people answer simple questions? You got DAZN supporters of the year, in the comment section, and I ask a simple question. They have no answers for me. None. Real Brother 32 said, I can't think of one, Ego. That's what I'm saying. So what are we talking about? We're talking about fights that you could actually pitch to people and get 300,000 to 450,000 people to buy it, because these are the numbers that they did. Name a DAZN fight that they could have put on pay-per-view for $75 if they didn't have a problem with pay-per-view. Let's think about here. Because I'm gonna help you all out. Let's think about the fights. So the week of Broner Pacquiao, because I was at Broner Pacquiao in Vegas, that Friday, Broner Pacquiao happened on Saturday. That Friday, DAZN had a card. It was Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus a guy Billy Joe Saunders beat 2-3 years ago that looks like Wolverine, named Artur Akov. Could that have been on a Friday on pay-per-view for $75? Absolutely not. Right? AJ ain't fought yet. He's not fighting until June. Canelo ain't fought yet. He fights on the Mexican dates in May. So let's keep going. So that takes him out. Triple G just signed, so he ain't fought on the network, right? Then the week of Spence, Errol the Truth Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia, that happened on a Saturday. In conjunction, that same fight week was Tevin Farmer on Friday versus Jonu, whoever that dude is, right? On the undercard, they had Gabe Rosado versus Maj Selesky in Philly. I know people that went. They said it almost sold out, didn't quite sell out, and it had a little bit less than 5,000 people there. So cool for a Philly crowd. That's dope. Cool. Could that have been a pay-per-view the day before Spence versus Garcia? Could you have put that on pay-per-view? That's not Tank Davis versus Tevin Farmer, right? That's a hometown feel-good fight for an active champion in Tevin Farmer. Cool, respects. You gave him that, but that couldn't have been pay-per-view for $75 because it would have flopped, What other fights did they have? I'm trying to think. Bellator. I don't really know as much about Bellator, so I don't know what they even had. I've seen a couple like Aaron Pico and a couple of the fights, but I don't know. I'm not even gonna touch about. I'm just talking about boxing really. What other fights they had? Katie Taylor fought. What other fights they have? I'm trying to think of what even they had. I'm trying to think. Honestly, I'm really trying to. What other fights did they have this year? Somebody help me out. Who else fought? Usyk, I don't think fought. Maurice Hooker fought, didn't he? That wouldn't have been a pay-per-view. Who he just fought. Oh, Jaime Munguia fought in Texas, right? Jaime Munguia fought against some guy named Inui, and that was on another fight week. There was another fight that happened that week. Andrew Cancio got stopped by Machado, or he stopped Machado. That was on the day of Gervonta Tank Davis fighting. It was supposed to be Tank versus Abner Matas. That, you know, that wouldn't have been a pay-per-view either. You know, Machado getting stopped on the same night, you know, by Andrew Cancio, the same night as Tank Davis fighting. You know, and what was supposed to be Tank Davis versus Abner Matas. Block Eddie G. So, honestly, my thoughts are, what, you know, people keep comparing, but it's not tit for tat like they want it to be. Because Dazn didn't have a fight that they would have even be. They're talking, the fans are talking about like it's tit for tat, like Dazn had a pay-per-view worthy fight and they just chose not to put it on pay-per-view. The reality of the situation is, thus far, all the way into March, almost clear into April, they haven't had a fight that would have resonated and generated 350 to 450,000 pay-per-views in America on pay-per-view, especially at no price point of HD being $75, $74.99. So what are we talking about? People are like, oh, Broner Pacquiao. Yeah, that's because it's Adrian Broner and it's Manny Pacquiao. You know, it's not like, you know, PBC didn't just fuck around and put Jaime Munguia and Inui on pay-per-view. They put Mikey Garcia, who's been, his whole career has been covered by Ellie Seckback and shit. Everyone knows him. You know, Errol Spence is Errol Spence, you know, beast and shit. These are the fights. Boxing Fan Jones. Ego, should I unsubscribe from my DAZN account? I don't tell people what they should do. You do what's in your heart. I'm telling you my opinion. You know, if you want to unsubscribe, unsubscribe. If you like the price point and the hierarchy and the, you know, the pay, the whatever it's called, price model, then rock with it. Canelo Fielding wasn't even this year anyway, but that's not a pay-per-view worthy fight either. That was in December. But yeah, even if you could go back to December. Then Dillian White, Derek Chisora wasn't on DAZN. Showtime picked it up. So what are we talking about? You know, the people that they're talking about Triple G fighting, if he didn't sell crazy numbers outside of the Canelo fights with Lemieux or Jacobs, Triple G versus Brandon Adams couldn't be pay-per-view. Ego said, I gave you 15 days of DAZN. Or, I mean, Romanian Mike. Hey, you tripping, bro. So, again, like, people don't even know what they're comparing. They just keep repeating the same thing, and we breaking it down. So, keep coming with the more bullshit. Keep coming with it. People keep, oh, yeah, Broner Pacquiao was $75. That's because Broner and Pacquiao can be $75. You know, Dave Pacquiao has a lot of fans. This shit was crazy in Vegas. You know, Spence Garcia could be 75 and still do 350. You know, Wilder versus Tyson Fury could be $75 and still get people to buy. You couldn't put Maurice Hooker and his last opponent on a main event pay-per-view. You couldn't put Jaime Munguia versus Inoue on a $75 pay-per-view. That would tank. So what are we talking about? You know, what are we talking about when you don't have a fight? That's what, you know, it reminds me of, like, let's say I started dating Halle Berry and she fine, and, you know, a hating motherfucker is talking about, oh man, he didn't get Halle Berry from, you know, Boomerang. He got, you know, Halle Berry now. But you can't get Halle Berry no way. So what are we talking about? You know, I have Halle Berry, like, she said she's for the back. I ain't never had that. You know what I'm saying? I have Halle Berry like Monster Ball. It made me feel good. It made me feel good. I want you to make me feel good. You know, that's some hate and shit. Like, oh, he has the older Halle Berry. You can't get Halle Berry, period. You know? So when people keep saying, oh, yeah, you're getting all this for $100 and Broner, blah, 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 Pacquiao was $75. What are we talking about? Because they couldn't have been. None of those fights could have been on pay-per-view. Oh, y'all like that Halle Berry? Hey, she was tripping in that movie. She was sexy as fuck, but Billy Bob was like taxing it. It made me feel good. Like, hey, you better chill out, girl. You tripping. You about to have a hernia, aneurysm. You was tripping. I see why she got an Oscar. She was like, made me feel good. Made me feel good. I make me feel good. Like, you can't be that horny. You need to chill. You need to take an Advil or something. You tripping. That would scare me if a girl did all that. What the fuck is this? Hello, doctor. This bitch possessed. She was like, make me feel good. Make me feel good. She was knocking shit over. Hey, this is some exorcist shit. Fucking the possession of Emily Rose. Exorcism of Emily Rose, bitch. What? That whole scene on Pornhub, my friend told me, yeah, you nasty, bro. You was on there. Let me check your history. It's good. You like typed in, let me feel good. God, make me feel good. That's probably what you typed in. Hey, my dude, Icy the one. Yeah, you Icy. You slippery slope, man. Bro. That motherfucker went to Pornhub and typed, gotta make me feel good, baby. Enter. Make me feel good. Enter. Like Smokey saying, Miss Parker ain't even hitting that right. That's what I'm saying. People keep comparing the pay-per-view, but they don't. DAZN hadn't put on an American fight that would have even remotely did 200,000, 300, 350,000 at $75 a pop. You know, man, I wish they would put Jaime Munguia versus Inui on a $75 pay-per-view. And see what type of numbers that these would be some all-time low. So they had no choice but to put it on just the regular app. What are we talking about? You know, they couldn't have put Andre, he's dope, but they couldn't have put that, you know, the week of Pacquiao Broner and then made another pay-per-view with Andrade. So what are we talking about? So again, we're talking about different things. Yeah, $75, but you're paying for the quality main event for the most part. You know what I'm saying? DAZN didn't put on no fights that would have been pay-per-view worthy. You know, Canelo Jacobs is that. Maybe, I guess you could say AJ versus, what's the name? Even Estrada versus Rungvisai, that's a good fight, you know, for real boxing heads, but that ain't pay-per-view. You know, HBO had it last time. These dudes are some weirdos. Kennedy Litter just be busted. Kennedy Litter don't be playing. So, yeah, man, we'll see how it all plays out. But, you know, people keep making these, like, moot points. Oh, yeah, you paid $75 for just Mikey and Spence. That's because people wanted to see Mikey versus Spence. You know, no, ain't nobody just paying $100. So basically, we paying $100 for Canelo versus Jacobs. That's what you're telling me. Because that's the fight everyone keeps talking about. So I'm paying $100 for Canelo Jacobs, which is the real pay-per-view worthy fight that they've announced. That's the equivalent to me. You know? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny at all. DAZN, a lot of the main events that they've put on have been PBC undercards. PBC undercard level fights. Like shit you would see on a regular PBC undercard. On Sean Porter Ugas undercard. You know, Ryan Garcia, he just had a kid. Shout out to him. He's about to fight Jose Lopez. I don't really even know who that is. I'm just, you know, I'm going to try to check it out because of Ryan Garcia, but I don't really even know who his opponent is. So, like, that's the crazy thing. Now, before I get out of here, let me talk about this Tyson Fury situation. This is embarrassing. ESPN jumped in the mix. Frank Warren and Tyson Fury switched sides and went over to ESPN, and they're talking about him fighting Tom Schwartz. That's horrible, bro. I don't care if he's undefeated. If you look at his resume, you know, he hasn't fought anyone outside of, like, Germany. He hasn't fought anyone outside of Germany that resonates with any boxing fan. If you really break it down, this on so many levels makes no sense. One, Tyson Fury says he beat Deontay Wilder in a 12-round fight, 10 rounds to 2. If you're that confident and that's how your performance, you should have just followed through and fought him. Even if you went over to ESPN, you should have said, I am not signing this deal unless you can guarantee me that these negotiations push through. But you know ESPN didn't want it because Wilder has killer power. He has that vibranium. And you know they wanted to give you all the help you can get to recuperate, to get your mind right, and not go back into that 12th round and make it the 13th round and hope that you're not damaged and, you know, give you time to come back easy. It's so easy to see. This Tom Schwartz dude, nobody knows him. Nobody's seen him. He looked like Thor's cousin, you know, from Germany. You look at his opponents and none of the names resonate. None of the names are people remotely. It looks like the cast of Inglourious Bastards or some shit. I want 1,500 Nazi scouts and I want my scout. That's a good ass movie with Brad Pitt. And I want my scouts. I don't know any of the people he fought. Don't know anything about him. You could at least fought Oscar Rivas. Listen, Oscar, I think that's his name. That's his name, right? Oscar Rivas, the one that beat Brian Jennings. Yeah, so Oscar Rivas, just so you guys that don't know, make sure you tell them where you got the information from. I want 500 Nazi scouts, and I want my scouts. Yeah, fucking Inglourious Bastards cast, bro. Who the fuck did he fight? Who the fuck is Tom Schwartz? I never even heard of that, right? Oscar Rivas, remember where you heard this, because you know people always, all in my videos, you know, under ghost accounts or secretly listening, but don't want people to know that they listening to my shit. And then they go and recycle the information that I give you guys because I know my shit and I do my research. Anywho, Oscar Rivas just knocked out Brian Jennings. He's signed over there with Top Rank or works with Top Rank because they just put on the Brian Jennings fight and he's a Top Rank fighter. I'll have you know that Oscar Rivas is, I think he's from Colombia, and there's a lot of Colombians that can hit, like Bradis Prescott knocked out Amir Khan, first person to defeat Khan, etc. So a lot of Colombians have that power. A lot of people, you know, good boxing, and they're able to, they got cracks. But anyway, Oscar Rivas beat Kubrat Pulev, who's a name that, you know, is mentioned in contention with possibly fighting Tyson Fury. He's fighting this weekend. He beat him in the amateurs or the Olympics or some shit. And he also beat Andy Ruiz Jr., who was signed with Top Rank and fought Joseph Parker for the vacant title. And then, you know, Joseph Parker beat him and the rest is history. But a lot of people thought Andy Ruiz won that fight, you know? So this Oscar Rivas dude, not only is he coming off the Brian Jennings win, as an amateur, he has amateur experience where he beat the likes of Kubrat Pulev and also fought and beat Andy Ruiz Jr. So to me, that seems like a good fight. But again, this guy has experience and he just came off a knockout. So the way the matchmakers are looking at it, Fury just got dropped hard twice. Do we want to put him in there with this buff-ass Colombian puncher with amateur experience, with, you know, confidence from the Brian Jennings stoppage? Brian Jennings didn't get stopped by Klitschko. He only got stopped by Luis King Kong Ortiz. You get me? So, you know, Rivas is reeling in, like reveling in his victory. That's too much of a risk. for Top Rank. They just signed this deal. You know, he's getting X amount of dollars. It's been reported as different shit. And they don't want to put him in there with a big puncher with some experience, like a Oscar Rivas. Period. They didn't want to put him in there with Wilder in the rematch, period. And this is the thing. Luis Ortiz just fought. Well, I don't even know what you were talking about. Luis Ortiz just fought on the Erislandy Lada card. But yeah, they didn't put Tyson Fury in there with Luis Ortiz. They didn't put him in there with Oscar Rivas. They said Dillian Whyte signed in the contract with ESPN. But guess what? I guarantee you he's not fighting Dillian Whyte next. You know, 2 UK British fights. So if you listen to what was said by Frank Warren from the top, he said ESPN wants the Wilder Tyson Fury rematch, but they want to give Tyson Fury a US exposure fight to build his profile, which I told you from the jump was bullshit. For one, you don't need a US exposure fight when you just fought in the US on US pay-per-view through Showtime. It did good numbers considering that Tyson Fury was not known for being a pay-per-view draw, not known for necessarily having this crazy, exciting style, and a lot of people counted him out. So some people didn't even purchase the pay-per-view thinking it was going to be an easy Wilder knockout or some shit, right? And then the fight turned out to be good. So why would you need a U.S. exposure fight coming off of that when you just fought a U.S. American champion and had a thrilling fight with the climactic 12th round? Why do you need a U.S. exposure fight? Bullshit. Second of all, why would you have a U.S. exposure fight with a rumored Tom Schwartz, who's from Germany, who hasn't fought outside of Germany, and nobody in America knows him? Why not at least fight Oscar Rivas, who I just told you beat Kubrat Pulev and the likes of Andy Ruiz Jr. as an amateur, and he just beat an American, you know, former contender in Brian Jennings, who people know, right? Bullshit. Bullshit. It's bullshit, baby. That ain't no exposure fight. That's a keep Tyson Fury, you know, winning fight, you know, or hoping he win. And again, you know, it's boxing. Maybe this dude comes out of the woodwork with some crazy shit. I don't know enough about him. I don't know enough about dude to say what type of chance. But on paper, it's not looking too good, you know, just based on his lack of experience. You know, he's shorter than Tyson Fury, lack of experience. A much better option would have been Dillian Whyte, Luis King Kong Ortiz, even Oscar Rivas. But those are too much of a gamble. You know, the real fight Tyson Fury should be fighting is Deontay Wilder. So does this sound like the behavior of a person that really believes, hey, block this dude, man. Block this dude. He keeps coming back. So anyway, there's a ton of other fights that would have been better. Namely, the major fight that he should have took was Deontay Wilder. You know, he didn't take that. And then now they're talking about some Tom Schwartz, who nobody even knows. How is that a U.S. builder fight, bro? Doesn't even make sense. You're building up his USA profile by putting him in a fight that nobody wants to see with 2 non-Americans. Really? That's what you're trying to sell me? Okay. Makes no sense. So, once again, it's criminal what they do to black fighters. People blame, oh, you know, some of you guys have the audacity. Old media has the audacity to even utter. I don't want to hear old media talk about Luis Ortiz, his age. I don't want to hear them talk about why is Wilder fighting AJ leftovers or why is he fighting Brazil. You guys no longer have a voice. Those opinions fall on deaf ears because you don't know shit about boxing and you accept you accept far greater crimes than what you bitch and complain about. You know, you're like, oh, well, the Black Channel. Why would Deontay Wilder fight Dominic Brazil? You're mad that Wilder's fighting is mandatory, but you have no issue with Tyson Fury, who claims he beat Wilder all but 2 rounds, ducking out of the rematch negotiations, jumping ship, and going to another network that he knew would create havoc and knew had a game plan for him that encompassed him not fighting Wilder next. And then on top of that, not even fight that network's dangerous fights or better fights, Top Rank, you know, like top guys like Oscar Rivas, who at least had a good performance and that amateur experience, or Dillian White, who's, you know, rumored to come over there. And then on top of all of that, they talk about putting him in there with Oscar Rivas. Really? I mean, Tom Schwartz? You guys got to be kidding me. And now people don't care about it. You know, people are just like, oh, yeah, this is a good fight. You know, Tom Schwartz. And then all of a sudden you get these armchair critics from old media who come out and try to defend. I mean, the guy's 6'6". He has some big ass trap, you know, and they're trying to sell you on the fight that you know shouldn't be happening. Shout out to Antonio Wright, $2 super chat. Thanks for always telling the truth. That's my duty to the fans. You know this fight shouldn't be happening. You know he ducked Wilder, and you gonna act like Tom Schwartz is who. This the real deal. This the real deal. This the real deal. Easy work. And this is what they do. Try to act like Tom Schwartz is the fight that they've been dying to see, knowing damn well. You know, that's why I said, why lie? Why would you lie to yourself? You know what I'm saying? You're not lying to me. You lying to yourself. You know, acting like Tom Schwartz was a guy. You know, if you had a bunch of names to submit to a hat for a raffle, you would have picked for Tyson Fury. You would have put Tom Schwartz on a piece of paper and then put it in that hat to get raffled because that's the opponent you wanted. You know, that's the opponent you wanted for Tyson Fury. Come on, man. You know that ain't the truth. Tom Schwartz. It's pitiful. It's deplorable what they do. You know, just imagine if Deontay Wilder tried some stuff like that. How would he be received? What type of comments would we be reading? That was a little bit hard to say. What type of comments would we be reading about Deontay Wilder? Because Wilder has done far greater things and still got flack some kind of way. Luis Ortiz fails a drug test. Wilder signed up for the test. Wilder gets blamed. You know, Wilder goes over, you know, was willing to fight Povetkin in Russia, a guy that Joshua would later get credit for knocking out. Wilder was with it before Joshua. Povetkin failed a drug test. Wilder gets blamed. So if he's getting blamed for things he couldn't even create, like people being afraid of him and doing PEDs or, you know, failing drug tests with stuff that's banned, if that happens to him and you blame him, imagine if he did it pulled a stunt like Tyson Fury's doing right now. Imagine what people would be saying right now. He said all hell would break loose. Exactly. You know, because they don't even give him credit for what he's doing right, Deontay Wilder. So imagine if he was in negotiation with Tyson Fury. The first fight was controversial. Tyson Fury was about it. Who about it? He was about it, telling everyone, doing conference calls, saying, I want the fight next. I want the rematch. You know, I'm going to show you I'm better. I don't know why people challenge my heart. And Tyson Fury was doing all this. And then it was Wilder. It was Wilder who said, you know what? I'm signing to ESPN. I'm leaving Showtime, you know, creating this new obstacle. I'll fight whoever, but, you know, I can't be in control of boxing politics, and started talking differently. And then you're not even fighting the decent fights over there in your first fight. But then on top of that, claiming that you won and claiming that Deontay Wilder needs to up his American profile and get more well-known. See, old media, they can never beat us. They can never, because it's not logical ever. And it sounds ridiculous. No matter how you try to spin it, twist it, bend it, pull it, it sounds ridiculous. Tyson Fury, this man really told Wilder on Twitter, and I made a video about it. That's what I'm saying. They don't understand the power of new media. All this stuff is recorded. It's all documented. People heard it. People seen it. The screenshots are in the video. I'm very thorough. Very thorough. You know, it's like a case of Matlock forensic files. There's no running around getting away from it. The information is already out. Tyson Fury, and I did a video about it, he told Wilder, haha, you bum shit house, get yourself a bigger profile in the U.S., and then the lineal king or gypsy king will give you a rematch once you make yourself a bigger name and more name known in the U.S. That's fine, whatever. That's cute. Even though he has a real belt and Tyson Fury has this lineal thing, you know. that's fine and dandy. But even using that argument, how is Tom Schwartz in the conversation? Let me know that. If Wilder got as a champion and a guy who nearly knocked you out, if he got as an American champion, got to make a bigger splash and a bigger presence, make his name more felt and more known in the U.S. to fight the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, even though he almost knocked you out, and that's the last round. So basically the last round of the fight you had with him that did pretty good considering, like, pay-per-view vibes, considering that you guys weren't pay-per-view stars. And the last impression we all have is him nearly knocking you out, and then the fight was over. If that American champion has to do more to become relevant in America, then why doesn't Tom Schwartz from Germany, a German, have to do anything? And he's never even fought in America, and they're talking about him fighting Tyson Fury in Las Vegas. So why doesn't he have to build his profile? It's the same bullshit over and over. You know, AJ did the same thing. Oh, yeah, you know, AJ and Eddie Hearn. Wilder needs to build his UK profile. Gerald Miller, he didn't build his UK profile before the Joshua fight. He fought a Romanian in Dogban Dinu. You know, he fought Thomas Adamak, who's Polish, you know, and he got the Joshua fight. Why couldn't Wilder? Why couldn't Wilder get the fight as an American champion? Why did he have to build his brand? So when people say stuff like that, all you have to do is run it through the database, and then you'll see it's not consistent. You know, oh yeah, Wilder needs to become big in America and I'll rematch him. But Tom Schwartz don't have to become big in America. Stop it. Wilder fought Ortiz and complained, and they complained he wasn't fighting his mandatory. Now he's fighting his mandatory and they still complain. Big facts. They be treating the WBC champion like he's a mandatory. We applying pressure. I told you, this is our year. It's too easy. So, like I said, the thing, you know, we're like the new media. We're like the Errol Spence of the game. Mikey Garcia talked and said this, and that. I'm the better boxer. I'm stronger. Mikey Garcia was proven wrong in every facet. Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia at his own game. He didn't just use size to mow, you know, Mikey Garcia down. He outthought him. He outsped him. He out you know, punched him, and he outsmarted him to break him down and beat him and hurt him, right? So he just beat you at your own game. You're a thinking man's fighter. He thought faster at a higher level, at a more elite, higher ring IQ level than you. That's what new media does. We break them down like Errol Spence. You know, we can even use and compute what you're saying and what you're telling us and check it for consistency. But the moment we see that it doesn't add up, then you look crazy. You can't say Wilder, the American champ with the actual belt, needs to, the American, listen to the audacity. The audacity. You're telling the American champion he has to become more well-known in America to fight you. You have no physical belt the same way Joshua and Wilder have physical belts that are recognized. Like, does Tyson Fury have to pay sanctioning fees for a lineal championship? Because I know Joshua and Wilder got to pay sanctioning fees, you know? And you're telling the American he has to become bigger in America, but then you're talking about fighting Tom Schwartz in America, who's fought primarily in Germany, and he's German, and he don't got to do nothing else extra. And Wilder already gave you a tough fight and brought you back from the dead, like both in the 12th round when he punched you and when he selected you to fight on Showtime, and this the motherfucking thanks he get. You know, Wilder resurrected Tyson Fury's career by even entertaining a fight. They were good dance partners for each other, and, you know, they stepped up when Joshua wouldn't, you know. But now, fast forward to the future, you know, the shift is this. AJ and Wilder both have better opponents, more recognized, you know, better name opponents than the rumored name opponent for Tyson Fury, who is Tom Schwartz. Looking shaky, baby. We just spitting the facts, though. Don't be mad at me. I'm only being real. Yeah. That's my time, people. We got them big facts. Big fact. I told you I'm on the ass. Pause. I'm coming. Non-stop. You know, we gonna see if they can outwork me. And I know these motherfuckers can't. Half of them got jobs and shit. I do this full time. We gonna see what message comes out. We gonna see. I can't wait. So everybody have a good night's sleep. The Vampire Stream. I'll be back with more heat, and then some more heat, and then some more heat. And we doing like Errol Spence. We gonna break them down, and we gonna give them a dose and a taste of their own medicine, and we gonna beat them at their own game. The shit you say, bring receipts, cause we coming, and we gonna kill you with your own sword. You know, Shaolin warrior style. We gonna kill you with your own sword. That if you want to do something greasy, that's how you do them. You don't use your sword. You don't damage the blade. You don't get blood on yours. You kill them with their own sword. Block Eduardo Gooding. I'm not reading what he's saying. I just see the name. Oh my God, my shooter clapped him. You know. The Gypsy King is simply exploiting American racism. I'm glad you say that, and I'm glad that you see that. You know, you talk, oh, you get more known in America. This is the American champ. That's why, listen, as long as Wilder keeps doing what he's doing, he has a fan in me, and he has someone who's going to support. Wilder, we got your back. And I'm not saying this because he shouted out, you know, said that what he said about my channel, because this was on. The whole reason I even went to New York was before he even said that, because I'm going to continue to support. I'm going to continue to support anybody in boxing who's doing it right. You know, Wilder clearly has been exonerated. He didn't duck no smoke with Joshua, and he didn't duck no smoke with Tyson Fury. Again, the Dazn 100 mil, first of all, it's not a duck because he could still fight Joshua, you fucking morons. You know, because he didn't take the deal now doesn't mean that Dazn needs big fights regardless. So him not taking the deal now means nothing. He could wait, see what happens with Gerald Miller, Joshua, see what Tyson Fury's talking about and how he looks in his next fight, and then see what options are open. But they don't mean it's over for him. You know, you know, waiting it out is the smartest thing he can do right now, because Joshua, we don't know what's gonna. He could lose. Joshua's stock could drop. He could have a controversial win where everyone thought he lost, and then that puts Wilder more in the driver's seat again and again, and his star power continues to grow if he can keep doing what he's been doing, viral knockouts and, you know, talking the talk, making people excited, making weight, you know, and bringing excitement back to the heavyweight division. Then Wilder can continue, you know, inching closer and closer to the point where he could call more and more shots, you know. So he's smart to wait it out. If he commits to Dazn, leave the people that helped you, like Showtime, go help their network, which needs help because they're doubling the prices. You know, that doesn't make sense. When you could wait, see what happens with Tyson Fury's next fight, see what happens to Anthony Joshua. Somebody's gonna have to play, you know, somebody's gonna have to see him. That's just the reality of it. You know, ESPN's gonna have to work with him, or DAZN or something, because once again, Wilder, if you really think about it, Wilder has more options for better fights than these other dudes. He does. Okay, Tyson Fury, who's he going to fight? Tom Schwartz, Oscar Rivas, Dillian White. You know, so he has a couple options. But, you know, the Americans control this, especially in America. You pitching this to American. Dillian White ain't American. Tom Schwartz ain't American. You know, we could shut this whole thing down. Like Tupac said, burn this bitch down, get us pissed. You know, we could just really revolt on some shit, to be honest. And I hope it don't come to that. I got the power to do it. Ego's Army, we got the power to do it. I could really get all the way funky if I want to, you know, and have people on some real, you know, LA riot shit. I promise you we that strong. You know, we could really do that. We could really do it like the Watts riots. But, you know, I don't want that. I don't want violence. You know, definitely don't want that. I don't want, you know, I'm not trying to get people banned and shit. You know, we're not trying to do that. But we could do it if we wanted to. You know, we know we influential in this game. We could star people out and have everybody, you know, in America not participating until they give these American champions the proper credit. We could do this, you know. We can really do that. We can shut all this shit down, you know. my channel alone. Like, really. And you know, if anyone takes it a certain way, they're going to take it a certain way. You know, we can run it if that, you know, if that's what they want to take it. I don't have to cover certain fights if that's what they want to do, you know. So play around if you want to. You know, my channel is influential. I got to reach. All I got to do is say the word. Like, you know, okay, cool. You're not going to treat American fans with the respect that we deserve. I'm not covering. There won't be no first looks from me. You know, there won't be all these videos to help hype up the fight. I hype up these fights more than some of these companies, to be honest. You know, giving you video and ego Weight Watchers and shit, and like 7 reasons and shit. I hype this shit up. You know, I could cancel all that if that's what they want. You know, so hopefully everyone plays fair and copacetic and stuff like that, because we could really shut shit down. I promise you that. You know, we can make shit unfashionable to participate. You know, I don't have to go live after certain fights if that's how they want to run it. You know, so I'm telling you, they best start giving the American fighters credit. You know, we don't have to cover certain things if they're not going to treat us with the integrity and give us our proper etiquette and give us the fights that we want. You know, things can become a whole lot more scarce. I'm telling you, we got the voice. We control this more than they know and more than they think. That's the reality of it. We control it. We're fans. We're the ones that pay into this stuff. You know? So my thing is simple. You know, hopefully it doesn't get taken to no crazy level, but I know I promote the fights, you know. So if I know my services aren't wanted, you know, and people don't appreciate what we're doing and people aren't going to, you know, respect it, then I don't have to. I can make money doing anything. And I can make money not covering certain fights and still be good. So hopefully everything gets sorted out. But I really want to see American fighters start getting their proper etiquette, start getting treated based on how they're performing. The Terrence Crawfords, you know, Teofimos, Wilder, Errol Spence. You know, it can't just be about, you know, other people who come to the country and then they automatically, you know, got the juice and automatically get all the exposure. That shit is a dub. That shit's done. You know, we got to start sharing the love a bit. I really believe in that. Ego does a better job promoting ESPN fighters than ESPN. I promote all this stuff. I promote anything that's right in boxing. You know, and like I said, the Fury thing, the Tom Schwartz is not really an awesome fight to me. And we know what happened in that situation. We know Deontay Wilder, what he's done and what he wanted. You know, he went after it. Tyson Fury bailed. That's the reality of it. But again, if you really want to run the numbers and play, Al Heyman, yet again, in most divisions except for maybe middleweight, right? And in middleweight, they still could do stuff. Like, even though most of the top middleweights are with Dazn, there's still some flex room. They could do Julian J. Rock Williams versus Hurd. If Hurd wins, he could fight Jermell Charlo. If Hurd beats Jermell Charlo, he said he wants to move up to 60 and fight the other Charlo. So that's right there is a good fight for what's the name, for Jermell Charlo. Especially if, you know, Hurd is able to beat Jermell, then it'll be a revenge. It'll be like, you know, Kickboxer or some shit. So in most divisions in general, the guy that has the biggest stable, which is Al Heyman, he still got the juice. He still got the power. At heavyweight, Wilder has more lucrative and credible options in-house than Joshua. Tyson Fury, his best fights he could fight is Tom Schwartz and Dillian White, Oscar Rivas, and Joseph Parker. Wilder can go to the Barclays and fight Adam Kaunowski, who's been calling him out. He said, Tom Schwartz is unknown when Ego can't impersonate him. I'm done. Wilder could fight Adam Kaunowski in the Barclays, which would be a good fight. New York has a lot of Polish fans and a lot of Polish residents, right? He could fight, you know, if F.A. Ajagba is moved. I heard Andy Ruiz is no longer with Top Rank and he's with Al Heyman. Andy Ruiz Jr. could be a fight. You also have Luis King Kong Ortiz rematch that Wilder can entertain. So, you know, PBC has some options if and when the moment comes to make the Tyson Fury AJ fights. If they aren't happening, you know, they have some options. They have some options that they can have. Who is AJ going to fight on Dazn? Thanks for supporting the boxing community, Ego. Appreciate you, no doubt. Who is AJ going to fight after Miller? Let's say he beats Miller clean. Who is he going to fight on Dazn without taking a Showtime or ESPN fighter? Dillian White's leaving. Who's he going to fight? Kubrat Pulev. You get what I'm saying? So they would want to work together, all of them, to get these fights. You know, that's how they all make money, is if they work together. Not only is Teofimo on the undercard of Con Crawford, Shakur Stevenson is. No, honestly, if AJ beats Miller cleanly, who's he gonna fight? That's on his side of the fence. Dillian White's on ESPN though, so I think Tyson Fury might be, you know, have more of a shot to fight him than that. And, you know, it's a good sign. Bob Arum just said Wilder is smart not to take the deal. You know? And Arum does, you know, he doesn't go out his way to say nice things about Al Heyman. You get what I'm saying? And Arum even said that Wilder was smart to not take the deal. Just the same title of the video. So that DAZN thing is more than meets the eye. Even Arum's saying the same thing that I'm saying. Arum telling you. Arum said basically when it's all said and done, Wilder could be missing money trying to get $40 million. Arum knows numbers. He's been in the game since the 60s, 70s, man. Arum is smart. Arum is smart. No matter what he says, if we agree or disagree, he's smart. Smart businessman, and he knows the business of boxing. That you can't take away. Even if he plays dumb or says something that you don't agree with, he still knows what he's doing. He knows why there's a reason he's doing that, right? So that's the reality of it. Arum is smart, and he's even saying Wilder because he knows what a fight like that would be worth, you know, because he's partaken in Mayweather Pacquiao, excuse me. That's the biggest fight, so he knows what type of money are at stake for these large ass fights. Wilder versus Joshua is a large fight. I'm not saying it's Mayweather Pacquiao large, but we know the case to be large in general. So he told you the same thing I'm saying. 40 million is weak for a fight that could potentially do 200 million. When you add up, you got to look at it. Endorsements, you know, the level of exposure you're going to get and the accolades that come with being in a mega fight. The live gate, the concessions, the pay-per-view buy rate and viewership. You know, there's a lot of money that goes into these major fights. Pacquiao got $20 million for Bradley 3. I don't know how, I don't know what, he got it. So if he can get $20 million for a fight nobody even wanted to see, Bradley 3, then why can't the heavyweight champion of the world knockout artist get more than 40 million or get a percentage of something great? And again, fight 2 and 3, why would they be the same value? Why would you get 40 million for Wilder AJ 1? No matter if you beat him, lose, draw, you get 40 million again. And then Shelly Finkel already told you that they never told what AJ was making. That shit is a trap. That's a trap. So you don't know what AJ's making. You don't know what DAZN's making. You're not getting a percentage. You're just getting a fat, hefty, you know, a hefty like bag, and that's it, and just shut up and don't ask no questions. No, that's not how it works. That's like what they do in the mob, like on the movies, where, you know, when someone works for the mob, but it's like a low figure, and they have a briefcase of money, and they just pull out a little bit, like a stack of money here, and just hand it to you. There's for your services. You know, they didn't like ration it out, like say, oh, you get, you know, 40% of this money. They'll just open the briefcase, take a stack out, and just throw it to you, and then you're like, oh, cool. You know, I ran that errand for the mob, and they just gave me that. You know, and you just happy with your cut. You ain't gonna say nothing to the mob. You get, that's what Dazn try to do. Oh, 40 million. Don't worry about what we making. Hell no. That's a scam for real. See, and they know that. With pay-per-views, everybody's nose is gonna be in the business because you're part of it. You're getting a percentage of the pay-per-view. Like, nah, I need them direct TV and satellite and dish numbers. I need to know, you know. If you just get cashed out, you don't know what the fuck they're making necessarily. You know? If they just give you 40 million, they just write you a check for your portion, and then you just don't worry about what the fuck we getting. Stop it, bro. That don't even make sense. I'm out. The Vampire Stream. We working. Who's Wyatt? All right, I'm really